All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's happening with everybody? Hope you guys are doing well this morning. Let's talk this boxing. Let me say what's up to everybody, but after you know how it goes, got to check one thing real fast. I don't know why I don't do this ahead of time. Just always rushing in the morning. Even though this morning I didn't rush too much. But, all right. Work that out. Look, man, we got 22 people in the building. Can we get the likes up? Let me ask about them likes right out the door. Just a fan in the building. What's going on, man? You don't think so? Nah. We'll see. I want to take a running poll of who thinks that. But I do believe on the first question, obviously. Second question, though, is obviously, for me, Jermell Charlo, I think, is the most underrated fighter in boxing, man. Nobody else that has done what he's done would not be ranked in that pound-for-pound list. That's why I'm saying Jermell Charlo, I think, is the most underrated fighter in boxing. Just a fan, what's going on, man? Tron Jones, what's happening? Shout out to you, brother. Good morning to you. John Boy said, good morning, family. Finally not going to miss a show. That's what's up, John Boy. Hope you're feeling better today, man. I hope you're feeling well today. Excuse me, Mike Cardenas in the building. What's going on? He said Floyd made Mayweather. Money Mayweather. Floyd made Mayweather. Canelo was a nobody before. You mean Floyd made Canelo. What's going on, Chillville? What's going on, Nope? I hadn't seen. I think I missed your last couple days. What's going on, man? Mark Cardenas. Yeah, okay, that's that correction. What's going on? Jim Jean-Pierre in the building. What's happening? Malik Allen, what's happening? Mr. M. Pride in the building. What's going on? Robert Robles, what's happening with you, sir? Shout out to the great island of Puerto Rico. Miss Aisha in the building. What's happening with you, ma'am? Tevis Smith, what's happening? Ernie V, what's good with you? Top of the morning to you as well. TJ Loves Boxing. Salute to you, TJ Loves Boxing. Quincy Carter in the building. What's happening? D Ford, what's happening? What's going on, Mrs. Blackwell? Irving V in the building. Terry R. Schmoot, what's happening? Terry Schmoot, what up, blood? Fanon, what's good? I'm good. You funny, man. You talking about the red? What's going on? Just a fan in the building. What's going on with you, sir? Hope you're doing well. He said, are you trying to expose those undercover Nello fans with that first question? You know what it is, trying to get under their skin a little bit. But seriously, I'm open to the discussion. Maybe Canelo really did pass him up. It's an open discussion, man. If you can persuade me with your arguments, man, please let me know. I'd be very interested in hearing, man. Because I hear a lot of that. You know, I hear a lot of that. I heard that a lot yesterday when I was on Twitter, different places. And it's pretty consistent that people say, you know, that Canelo Alvarez has passed up Floyd Mayweather. So I would like to understand that. And I figured that, you know, this live stream is a good place to have people be able to represent their thoughts and let it be known. You know what I mean? Just a fan? What's the logic behind that? I want to be fair. I want to be unbiased when I ask the question. Jamal Jeffrey said, what's your thoughts on Malik Scott as a trainer? I don't know. I can't tell you really, because I mean, you know, I'm not an expert on trainers. Results are what, you know, results for as far as trainers goes is usually results that you look at. And I think I really couldn't judge it at this point in time. You know what I mean? I really couldn't judge it, but I'm sure that I suspect that he's a very good one, you know? True Blue Staley in the building. What's going on? Anthony Hamilton, good morning to you, man. Shut up and laugh, you said. Floyd is the last superstar of boxing, definitely in the greatest conversation. I think that is a little bit, you know, I don't know, man, about the greatest. But he's dang sure the best that I've seen in the last 40 years. You know what I mean? I will say that. However, at the same time, you know, I think it's really unfair to people that I don't know and I've not seen fight to say that he's greater than them. You know, like Joe Louis, is he really greater than Joe Louis? I don't know, man. I think that that's probably unfair to Joe Louis, you know, and I think that's definitely unfair to Ali. Sam Langford is probably unfair to Sam Langford. Harry Greb is probably unfair to Harry Greb because back then there's no way in the world anybody could be considered the greatest with 50 fights. You know what I mean? If you're fighting in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, even in the 60s, if you have 50 fights, they would be like, that's like considering like somebody with 16 fights the greatest now. You're like, you got 16 fights, right? When you have guys like Harry Greb who had 23 fights in a year, right? They're like, yeah, I did 23 fights last year. You have 50 in a career that spanned 18 years. You know, I just think I think that the best thing that you can do is give people the respect in the era that they fought in. I don't think that this all like saying, especially in boxing, because it's apples and oranges when you compare what these guys were doing. They were fighting a lot more often, right? They were fighting in a lot fewer weight classes. They had same day weigh-ins, not next day weigh-ins, right? If you look at some of the gloves these guys fought in, like they literally look like mittens, like very, very thin gloves, not big padded gloves. So, you know, I just think it's really tough, man. My man John Boy said 3-belt, 2-time champ. If you didn't make any, what is this? If he didn't make, where's my man John Boy? I'm got to give my boy John Boy a gong too. I'm gong for John Boy all the time, brother. I'm reading your chat, brother. I'm giving you a gong. 3-belt, 2-time champ. If he didn't make any noise, bro, no one would know who he is. Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's silly. You got to consider that dude. For me, you're talking about Jermell, 2-time champion, and he's got 3 belts. You got to consider him underrated, especially if you got him underneath Josh Taylor, because that's the guy that I was thinking about. I'm like, Josh Taylor, right about this point in time, I think he's better than Josh Taylor. He should be above Josh Taylor. In any list of fighters that I put together, I put Jermell Charlo above Josh Taylor, especially after Judge Taylor looked like that. Robert Robles said, good morning for now, putting some color early. Thank you, brother. That early color is important to the channel, man. And I'm going to tell you, man, thank y'all so much for keeping the channel viable. It is greatly appreciated. Boogie in the building. Said, Boogie9 said, what do you think about Arrow by TKO between 7 and 9? I think it's going to go to distance. I have a hard time seeing a knockout, Boogie. I have a hard time seeing that knockout. You know, unless he can go, unless for some reason it winds up that Yordenis Ugas really can't take it to the body, because he is a little light in the backside. Looks a little bit light in the midsection. But other than that, man, I see it being a good competitive fight, but Errol Spence Jr. winning by decision. That's what I think. I got a lot of respect for Ugas as a fighter. He's a legit, and I would say the same thing about Terrence Crawford and Ugas. I don't think Terrence Crawford's going to knock out Yordenis Ugas. I think that'd be a very tough fight for Terrence Crawford. Ugas is similar to me. Ugas is similar in a way. What's going on, Justin Hawkins? Salute to you, brother. It's similar in a way to Brian Castano. Brian Castano's not an easy win. He's not going to win a fight. I mean, like, Brian Castano is not, it's going to be tough for Brian Castano to beat somebody like a top level fighter, but it's also very hard for them to beat him because he just doesn't really give you very much. Kind of like Isaac Cruz when he was fighting Gervonta Davis, right up in that shell. It just kind of feel like a little bit the same way about Yordenis Ugas. Quincy Carter in the building said, number one, hold on one second, man. He said, number one, Floyd beat Canelo. Yeah! Made more money, better resume, more skilled, more charismatic. He's undefeated, bigger star power. The list goes on and on. Much love in that super chat, brother. I'm interested in hearing from the Canelo fans. That's who I am, and don't block them. Hey, Quincy Carter, brother, thank you so much for your continued support. We don't always agree, and that ain't nothing but a thing. Robert Robles said, you missed my super chat. No, I didn't, brother. You're a little bit behind on the chat. But let me slide back a little bit. Robert Rose said, good morning. Good morning, Fanon. Putting some color early. Puerto Rico. Shout out to Puerto Rico. And I got Boogie9 there. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you more than you know. And then my man Quincy Carter. Got my man Quincy Carter. Y'all put some color in there. Blacksmith Ross said, Fanon, I'm curious. Is it hard to compare fighters back then because of all the changes? I think it is. I think it's very hard to I think it's very, very hard to compare, man. Like for me, because and let me get to John Boy, then I'll get back to that. John Boy said, "Yeah, bro, but then you bias if you give him any credit. Much love, and you know how that is. Much love in that super chat. Yeah, but I'm telling you, bias is code word for you're giving credit to a black fighter. That's the way those guys say it. I'm just telling you, man, you got to get your head around what these dudes are saying. You got to understand what these guys really are behind the keyboard. They're those guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys did not shut up and go away. They just have new code words, like you're biased. Like, you're biased. You're just biased. Like, you're just, anything that you say, their entire argument is that you're biased. You're biased. Man, see, and you just like, you have to defend yourself from their accusations. So it's a name calling. You know what I mean? You just like them because you're a monkey. Like, that's what they might, some of them dudes, not all of them, some of them dudes might as well just be saying that. You know what I mean? But Terry, man, absolutely, brother. It is not Terry. I'm sorry. God dog, who said that, man? I already moved past it in the chat. Let me slide back up real fast. See, I don't think it was Ali Voso. Oh, no, it's Blacksmith Ross, who also gets a gong. Blacksmith Ross in the building said that. Shout out to Blacksmith Ross. Fanon, I'm curious, is it hard to compare fighters back then because of all changes? Yeah, it is. It is. Because, like, you can't use the accolades you can't use some of the same things that you say now and compare and like, take, for example, Henry Armstrong. That's probably the easiest one to do. Henry Armstrong was a champion in 3 divisions, right? He's a champion in 3 divisions at the same time. However, the weight classes then were different weight classes, and what he would be now is a champion in a weight range that covered 6 weight classes, because he would be a champion all the way from 118 all the way up to 147. Or because he would be because 120, there wouldn't be no 122, right? So everybody that weighed 120 between 118 and 122 all fought at a weight class that was 118, from 118 to 126. That was the weight class that they fought in. So Henry Armstrong didn't have the ability to fight at 122 because there was no 122. That weight class was just a part of 126. Same thing with 140. There was no the same thing with 130. There was no 130. It was from 126 to 135, right? And so same thing again with 140. There was no 140. It was 135 to 147. So when somebody says Manny Pacquiao won championships and, more divisions, right? It's not true. The dude literally had 6 weight classes at the same time. And really, a lot of boxing historians say really should have been 8 weight classes at the same time, because he won the middleweight title. He fought the same guy, the same Filipino guy that he beat for the welterweight title. He fought and beat for the for the middleweight title at 160, right? But the referee left, because they didn't want him to do it. The referee left. And then later on called it a draw, because the ref was supposed to score the fight. The referee just left. So if the referee had not robbed him, he would have had 160 pounds all the way down to 118 pounds at the same time. There is nobody remotely like that in boxing today. So for people to say that what Canelo Alvarez is doing is history, it's not. If you look at the weight ranges, it's what Henry Armstrong done. And he did it all in the same year. And he did it all in the same 1936. It was all the same year. He fought all those weight classes in the same year. So a guy literally that could fight a 122 pounder also fought a guy at 160 pounds. 118 to 160. That is huge. And if you ever look at Henry Armstrong's a little guy, man. Well, I mean, obviously a little guy because he could fight guys that are 118 pounds, 120 pounds. That is a weight range. That's a weight range. What's 18 minus 60? You know what I mean? That is a 42-pound weight. That's a 42-pound weight swing that man was fighting in. So no, man, it's like I'm saying, yeah, exactly. Homicide, yeah, he said homicide, Hank ain't beating boots. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. It's not, it really and truly is. It really truly is very, very difficult to compare all that. And my man, Robert Robles said, it is an honor, OG. You work hard for your money. Hey, thank you, Robert Robles, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that support, man. It does mean a lot, dog. No joke. Kenneth Ratter said, you all talking all that shit. Hey, man, no, but you ain't. See, that's, you know what? I'm waiting, and I'm asking you, if you really believe that, just put your statement in the comment section. Put your statement in the comment section so I can read your logic. I'm not talking smack. I want to understand why you believe that. Because there's a lot of people running around and saying that they think Canelo Alvarez has a better career than Floyd. And I'm just honestly asking you to explain yourself because I don't understand that. To me, it doesn't make much sense. But, you know, different people have different logic. They have different priorities. And I'm just trying to figure out what it is, man. Keith Rattle said, you scared like your boy Spence is of Crawford. I don't understand. Scared about what? Keith Rattler? I'm scared about what? What am I scared about? Hyper Spaz said, AKA Matt, dream fight, Roman Gonzalez versus Ricardo Lopez. Who you got? Red. I got Red. I got Little Red. Much love in that super chat. Dream fight versus Ricardo Lopez. What's his Red? I got Ricardo Lopez. I got Ricardo Lopez. Give me Ricardo Lopez. Let me slide down real quick. Quincy Carter in that super chat. Thoughts on Floyd's performance when he beat Canelo, Fanon? My thoughts on that is that it was a one-sided fight. It was a one-sided fight. Canelo Alvarez just got beaten. It was as far as the big fights that I've seen Floyd Mayweather in, I mean, it was around the same. It was no more competitive than Virgil. It was a little less. It was a little more competitive than Virgil than Victor Ortiz. A little more. It was. I would put it somewhere between. It wasn't as competitive as Cotto. Wasn't as competitive as Cotto. Wasn't as competitive as as Oscar De La Hoya. Probably a little more competitive than Andre Berto, maybe somewhere around the Andre Berto fight. I would say it's somewhere around there, like that level of performance out of Canelo. Canelo just looked clueless, honestly. He looked like he had, to me, it looked like he had set combinations he was trying to run off. He had a certain pattern that he thought he was going to be able to execute on Floyd. And Floyd recognized his patterns, slipped his patterns, and countered him. Floyd would take the lead. If Floyd he would wait for Canelo. Canelo even acted like he was going to take the lead. Bop. If Canelo Alvarez threw a combination, Floyd slips it, throws his shot. If Canelo Alvarez slipped that, then Floyd was right there back with something else. It was just like it's like Floyd knew the dance. It's like he knew the dance. He knew the playbook. It's like he was in Canelo's head. That's probably the best way to say it. He's just in Canelo's head the whole fight, man. And it was really, at around round 6, I kind of got bored. I was like, man, this guy can't do anything with him. He's just not smart enough. I mean, that's probably the best way. He's big, he was strong, you know. He was clearly skilled, but he just wasn't smart enough. He just wasn't smart enough. That's probably about the way I would say that. He just wasn't smart enough to beat him. Floyd was just smarter. Looked smarter in the ring. Had answers to every trap, every deal. He just knew what to do. Floyd was on it like that, man. No joke. Floyd was on it like that. Curtis Sewell, much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, man. Terry Schmoot, thank you. He says Seferino Garcia is the name who Armstrong beat. Bested. Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Seferino Garcia. Yep, the Filipino. Homicide Hank ain't beating your boy. Hey, man, we'll stick with today, man. Hunter Young, man, much love in that super chat, brother. And seriously, man, thank you guys so much for the support, man. Hunter Young said Clarissa Shields has a better history book career than Canelo. She did something he is trying to do. She didn't duck out of no competitive division. Hunter Young, I think that's unfair. Much love in that super chat, brother. I think that that's unfair. I think that that's unfair for the same reason that I think that a lot of these comparisons people make are unfair. Clarissa Shields is fighting in women's boxing, which is nowhere near as deep. We're nowhere near as deep as you have as men's boxing. Men's boxing is deep. Like, it's kind of like women's boxing is similar to like the flyweight division, the men of the flyweight division. What are them little? Basically, the same as like 108 to maybe 112 in boxing. Those guys, there's not very many fighters there. Just if you go and do this sometime. This is why I don't. This is one of the reasons why I don't rate. It's very difficult for me to rate any guy at 112, 108, 112, and up to 115, and really say, okay, man, these guys are all-time greats. They're better than these guys in these bigger weight classes because of the sheer number of fighters that are there. There are literally 1/20th the number of fighters in those divisions that there are in the big divisions. The most populous division in boxing is welterweight. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of welterweights. I don't think that there are 30 world-class 108 pounders. There ain't 30 guys in the world. Go to BoxRec. Pull up, and if your criteria is that these guys have won more than 20 fights, right? I don't think that there's 40 guys that have done it, that have won 20 fights. After you get, like, you go to BoxRec and you read like the first 3 pages, after that, the records are 0-1, 0-1, 0-2, 2-1, 0-1, 0-1, 0-2, 0-1, and it's pages and pages of 0-1, 1-1, 0-0, 0-1. You know what I'm saying? 0-1-1. People that have been there, fought one time, and moved on out the divisions. There's just not a lot of guys there, man. So with women, that's what I would say the same. I would say the same thing. Like, it's almost inverse of men, because now is the time, really, I think now, and if somebody's an expert at women's boxing, they can correct me. I think the skill sets now of women are improving dramatically because now they're kind of featured, where before it was like, it was like a freak show almost. Like when I was a kid, women's boxing was like a freak show. Like, whoa, there's women fighting. I can't believe. Wow, that's so strange. Now it's not like that. You see a woman's fight, you can take a woman's fight. You can take a women's boxing fight seriously, and have serious conversations about it. But it really wasn't like that until you got to like Ann Wolfe, to the time of Ann Wolfe, definitely Christy Martin, Ann Wolfe, Lucia Riker, people like that. Then, some years passed and it went back into the circus act, right? And then you had Lucia Riker, and then you get to Clarissa Shields, and now the people you got coming along now after it got into the Olympics, and there's a little bit more amateur background behind it. It just seems like now is really the beginning of the serious phase of women's boxing. So to compare Clarissa Shields to like Canelo, I don't think that's fair. I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to Canelo, to be honest with you. Because Canelo really is fighting. I mean, he fought a lot of dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some real. Canelo's a real fighter. He's not make-believe. You know what I'm saying? That's why, I kind of want to have this conversation about the matter and be serious about it. Canelo Alvarez is a real serious fighter. The dude is no joke, man. It's just that, he's just in Hollywood status right now and not fighting and not taking on the best competition, in my opinion. David Mitchell said, Pede, you want Pede. Much love in that super chat, bro. What is that supposed to mean? Payday. You want payday. What does that mean? Giovanni Walker putting the color in the chat for the day. Much love in that super chat, bro. What is that, David Mitchell? Anyway, Ron Nobles, man, much love in that super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. Ron Mills said, not to sound sexist, but women's boxing isn't even close to the murderer's row in men's boxing. Yes, I just don't think it's a fair comparison. I don't. I think that you should just, generally speaking, compare women to women. And I think that's more than enough. Because right now, there's a lot of really good women. There's a lot of extremely talented and proficient female fighters. And it is just enough right now just to compare them to themselves right now. You know, it's doing very, very well, man. Doing very, very well. I'm going to slide down to the end of this chat, man. And I don't understand, David Mitchell. What do you mean? I want payday. Payday. What, you want free? You want, I appreciate you donating to the channel, brother. And I appreciate the payday. What you mean? All two of your dollars. I'm sure it's a significant. I'm just messing with you. I was about to chew on you. Anyway, Joel Diller said, don't forget Muhammad Ali's daughter. Yeah, absolutely. Layla Ali. Yeah, for sure. Layla Ali. No doubt about it. Terry Schmoo said, why Floyd didn't give Canelo a rematch, but gave Maidana and Joe Louis rematches. Floyd's such a duck. Chicken. Didn't give him a rematch because he's not a 154-pounder. And the guy he didn't deserve a rematch for that fight. The guy didn't win a round. Why would he give him a rematch? That fight did not warrant a rematch. No joke. If I was Floyd, I'd be like, man, you want to throw your career away by going right back at this and getting beat again like this? Dude, that'd have ruined Canelo Alvarez's career. If he would have went right back, say they would have done that, what, in 6 months? If Canelo Alvarez would have went back in there in 6 months, he would have got beat again the exact same way. 6 months later, he loses the exact same way. All that's going to do is ruin his career. He got back-to-back losses to Mayweather. And all of a sudden, he's Marcus Maidana. Hey, Hunter Young, much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you so much for your support, bro. It definitely helps the channel, and it is greatly appreciated. Hunter Young said, I get that, but the way my bank account is set up, I couldn't change the color to 10 to show my sarcasm towards Canelo's fans. I just blew my budget. Thank you, Hunter Young. It's all good, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much, man. Yellow is the screw you Canelo is the screw you is screw the trolls color. T saying, let me see. T saying says Floyd is overrated for sure, possibly the best in the last 15 years, but definitely not even close to the GOAT. Anyone that believes Floyd is a GOAT is just believing Floyd's marketing machine. 15 years? You talking about since Roy Jones Jr.? That may be fair. That may be fair. He's talking about since Roy Jones Jr.? What's 15 years? 2006 is 15 years, right? Is that right? 15 years? Was that when Roy lost? Around 2006? I think Floyd is the best since Roy. I don't think Floyd's better than Roy at his peak. I don't think he's any better. I think he's just as good, though. Don't lunch. I think he's just as good now. Carver Williams says, salute, Fanon. Thanks for blessing us with your time this morning. Got some great boxing talk before work. Everyone have a blessed day. Carver Williams, thank you so much, brother. Thank you for the support, bro. I really do appreciate it, man. And there's no shame in the game, brother. Everybody, if you're doing something, ain't no shame in saying it. Business experts will tell you that. Ain't no shame. Anthony Forbes said, payday is what Canelo says to get out of fights, rematch. That would have been stupid. Oh, yeah, the rematch. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for that support, man. That yellow is screw y'all. The yellow is definitely the screw. Yellow is definitely screw the trolls. Big Rough Boxing said Professor Fanon is boxing's #1 casual educator. Look, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, seriously, and treat these cats like they got some, like they have some, like they've got sense. I want to understand it. If there is a reasonable argument for that, I would like to understand it. I don't understand it. It seems to me to be the stepchild of the Manny Pacquiao stuff. To me, you know what I mean? Valence Bergata Abran. Canelo isn't even on Mayweather's skill level, just like Valdez isn't on Shakur's. It's about to be another boxing lesson. Man, I certainly hope so. I'm rooting for Shakur. Oscar Valdez is a good fighter, though. I'm going to tell you, man, I wasn't big on Oscar Valdez, but Oscar Valdez is a very, very good fighter. He's a very good fighter, but that head is there to get hit, man. You know what I mean? LR said, Fanon, who has the best chance of beating Tank in your opinion? I think Shakur. You think Stevenson? The person in what? In 135 that has the best chance of beating him? Devin Haney and Shakur. Devin Haney and Shakur. I would say, yeah, Devin Haney and Shakur, probably. Yeah, Haney and Shakur have the best chances because of the style and their length. Shakur, yeah, Shakur, Devin Haney and Shakur have the best chances. I think the best chance is probably Shakur. But I don't know, man. I'm telling you, man, that is a fight that is for the ages right there. Like, that's a fight. That is a, man, awesome fight, man. And that is an awesome fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. And the same thing for Devin and Gervonta. I just think that, I just like Shakur's ability to sit down and fight you on the inside. I think that is really like where, and the southpaw stance. But that's the one thing that I think really separates Shakur from everybody else, from what I can see, is that he literally can sit up, literally can sit up there, can sit right in front of you, slip you, and counter you. And he's walking guys down. When he walked down Jermell Herring, that really shows something to me. Oh, by the way, Just a Fan says Valdez is coming off a tremendous KO. He will lose to Shakur. Oh, no, he's not. He's coming off of a robbery is what he's coming off of to Conceição. He's coming off of getting a fight, of losing a fight. In my opinion, he's coming off of a loss is what he's coming off of against Conceição. And he better not fight, and he better not fight. He better do a better job with Stevenson than he did with Conceição. Because if that was Stevenson that night, dog, no way. You know what I'm saying? No way. Robert Robles, much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for your support, bro. He said, hey, OG, why some fighters wear glasses in the face-off? Why they wear glasses in the face-off? I don't know, man. Same reason dudes be wearing gold teeth in their mouth. Trying to look cool. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to look cool. Trying to look menacing. Trying to look cool. You know, too cool for school. Same reason anybody would wear sunglasses. Like, why they wear sunglasses inside? You know, it ain't to keep the sun out their eye. You know what I mean? What is this? I think I'm going to throw this comment out. Man, dude, get out, man. That dude need to go. Who cares? Who cares? No joke. Hold on, man. That's not, you didn't say that twice, did you, Sizzler? Let me tell you something, brother. Sizzler, get out of here. Bye. Go away, man. Anyway, if you bring, I'm telling you right now, dog, you try to bring dumb stuff, man, you got to get out, man. From now on, you bring stuff like that, you got to go, man. Nobody care. What do I care? Go tell him that. Cookie Monster said, not going to lie, the sunglasses fit the outfit. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Valence Brigada Abram said, Terry, no, that's not for me. David Mitchell, man, thank you, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, man. David Mitchell, okay, said no diss for nine, just Canelo sarcasm. Much love from Tucson. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I didn't know, man. You know, cats these days will now pay. These cats now literally pay money to troll me. Much love in that super chat, bro. Much love, brother. David Mitchell, I appreciate you, man. Just Canelo sarcasm. You want petty? That is so unfair, man. But I'm waiting. Oh, just like Telvin Smith said, I'm waiting to hear Canelo logic to see if they can change my thoughts. I'm waiting on it. Seriously. I'm really wanting to hear somebody that believes that put it in the chat why you believe that so that I can hear it. But for some reason, you guys don't put it in the chat. You just call me biased. You just put it, but you got to give me the reason why. And I'm serious. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not gonna try to insult you. I'm not gonna do any of that. I would just like to understand why Canelo Alvarez has career has passed Floyd Mayweather's. I just want to understand. I want to hear it in a way that is something that makes sense. Okay? Other than, like maybe it's because, what you mean is I'm not even going to give you an argument, okay? Because we're not doing that. Ron Noble said, I'd pay $200, Spence Crawford, Haney Davis undercard. Man, incredible. Much love in that super chat, brother. Oh, yeah. You mean you want a Don King card is what you want, Ron Nobles. What you want is a Don King card. That's clearly what you want is a Don King card. Keith Nolan 2211 said 405 in the building, 145 watching Gervonta Davis uppercut that like button. Oh yeah, man, come on, man, get the likes up. I haven't said anything about it. Would y'all mind getting them likes up, man? Come on, we got 400 people in the building. Y'all can get them likes up, man. Hey, brother, thank you so much for that support, Keith Nolan, brother. Thank you for keeping the chat rolling. That is huge. It means a lot. Kurt Sewell said, some Valdez fan actually said Shakur was juicing. You can't make stuff up. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Well, yeah, they can make stuff up, Curtis Sewell. That's exactly what some people do. They just, your guy's juicing. Your guy's juicing. Biscuit says, hey, man, boxing never gives us a stat card. Let me tell you what DAZN is. DAZN is the time-wastingest product I have ever bought in my life. DAZN will waste half your day. Like, dude, they will waste half of your day. 99% of the fights on their cards are trash, and they will put on 15 straight journeyman fights. Like, they waste so much time. Like, man, will you just cut the card? I will pay an extra $2. I'm swear, DAZN, I will pay you an extra $5 a month if you will stop showing so many fights. Jesus. It's like, who are these people? Iron O'Shaughnessy versus Caleb O'Reilly in the Westminster bantamweight local Union 312 championship. Like, man, are you kidding me? Dude, how many hours is this going to be on, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many hours? Abby put on 15, 20 fighters, man. Like 20 fights of, like, come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Like, dude, please stop it. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, them Don King cards were different because I can see Winky Wright on an undercard. Right now, they're not going to give you no Winky Wright fight on an undercard now. You know what I'm saying? Not going to give you no Winky Wright fight on an undercard. Man, geez, Louise, they be terrible, man. I'm telling you, terrible, terrible, terrible. But I'm waiting on the Canelo fans. Valencia said Canelo fans have an obsession with Mayweather, emotionally invested way too much in a man instead of a purist of the sport. Hey, I'm still waiting on the logic, man. I'm waiting on the logic, man. He said Necro easy trying to hide. What you talking about? Oh, my bad. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Man, that is terrible. I didn't, and actually I have to hey, I'll be back in 30 seconds. All righty, my bad. Sorry about that. Oops. Hey, man, Just the Fan. Why would you put that in the chat, man? Just the Fan, man. That is absolutely crazy. Hold on a second. I'm sorry about that, man. I'm sorry about that. I forgot my phone. And my man Mike in that Cash App, brother, said, keep talking that boxing ish, brother. Thank you so much, man. M. Boro in the building, brother. Thank you so much for that support. And my man Tyrone back in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much for that support. He said, good morning. Floyd equals hard work, dedication. Canelo equal payday. No. Fanon, going on your no winky in the undercard is due to the promoters or all the up-and-coming fighters who want to be main events when they aren't ready to headline the shows. Hey, man, I'm just telling you, it sucked, bro. Hey, what's up, man? Pac-Man Taze should have had a wrench. Hey, there you go. All right, man. My Pac-Man Tay should have been had a wrench, man. How did that not happen? Pac-Man Tay, what's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? If we don't see prospect, how many people supposed to know who the you guys are, who they are? No doubt about it. I'm talking about them UK prospects. No, I'm not talking, hey, dude. Trust me. If the dude in the United States is a prospect, then having them on the undercard is good because a prospect should be a world-class fighter, Tay. That's what I mean by it. A world-class fighter. If they're putting on a guy, what DAZN is putting on is guys that are the equivalent, the guys that are equivalent to, I don't know, somebody fighting at the Hard Rock Cafe who will never be a world-class fighter, man. They are literally getting guys that are like, these guys, seriously, man. Like, did you see the fight? Tay, did you see that fight with that guy for the Scottish world title? For the Scottish world title? The Scottish world title. The dude was, I mean, he came in with face paint. And this guy literally, dude, he was 40 pounds overweight. All he threw was these wide looping, all he did is throw these really wide looping hooks, leaning with his face forward and getting punched in the face, dude. And it was like, what is this, man? What is this? If you watch that card, bro, my God. He said, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, man. Look, let me tell you something. I'm not talking about guys like, say, somebody like, God, what's that lightweight's name, man? Not even that level. I'm not talking about like legitimate professional fighters. I'm talking them UK fights, man. The fights that they have over there on DAZN, man, some of these guys, man, I'm not talking about guys like, at the level of like Liam Smith or the levels of like guys that are over there that are good fighters, like Cheeseman. Cheeseman's a good fighter, right? But I'm talking about guys that are really struggling to make the upper echelon of the domestic level in the UK. Those type of fights, I'm like, man, you don't have to put them on TV for me, man. I'll pay you $5 because I'm sitting there watching the fights. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not saying I don't have a problem watching prospects. I like watching prospects. It's just, let's start at a reasonable level. You know what I'm saying? Let's start or show me a good amateur fight. If you got some amateur fights, put some high-level amateurs. Don't pay them. So I'd rather see high-level amateurs fight because they're skilled fighters. Melvin Edwards said, Charlo and Canelo, who want to see it? Oh, me. Much love in that super chat, bro. Much love in that super chat. Me. I'd love to see that fight, man. That's the fight I want to see. Jackie Hernandez in the building says, super sticker, man. Where's the super sticker? I got to see the super sticker. Hey, love to you too, my lady. Hope you're doing well. Packers said, yeah, I get it. It just has to be reasonable. Yeah, it just got to be reasonable, man. Like just somebody that's a serious somebody that is really has a chance to become a champion. Or better yet, doesn't even have to really have a chance to be a champion. Just has to have a chance to eventually fight top contenders. But guys that are like where they're not even serious about it, you know what I mean? They're really a barber, and they go and they spar on the weekends and they fight people at a pub. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't really know. I don't really need it, man. I don't really need it. But it is what it is, man. But I do watch them, though. So you know, Tay, I do watch them. Hunter Young said, Fanon, what's up with your boy Blair Flair going in on Spence? Man, he's looking for attention, man. Blair, he gonna get it, though. He's gonna get it. I will tell you, though, that Blair Flair is actually a decent fighter. Blair Flair is a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a talented fighter. You know what I mean? Yeah, fight contenders and things of that nature. Yeah. If a guy can get up there and fight contenders and do that, then yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of those guys that are really fun to watch. For me, it's always fun to watch a fight that's fairly matched. You know what I mean? For the most part. You know, unless it's like that dude. That dude needed it. It's like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. You could have gave somebody a shot on that one. Keith Newland said, I want to see Canelo fight Charlo, but I'd much rather him fight Andrade. Although we all know Canelo transformed into Usain Bolt whenever you mention Andrade's name. Andre's. I'm going to start calling him by the way he pronounced it. Andre's name. Ghost said, Blair's a decent fighter, but he needs to relax with all the talk. Yeah, that's what he's a good fighter. He's not trash. He's a good fighter. He's a competitive fighter. And I would love to see him fight Jermell Ennis. I would love to see that fight. Love to see him fight. Love to see that fight. I have a suspicion he's going to get the brakes beaten off of him, but I would love to fight, man. I would love to see that fight. That dude is a hard trainer. He trains hard. He stays in shape. He's got a good trainer. You know what I mean? Ramen Turner, what's going on? Ramen said, Blair Cobbs is a good fighter, just nobody pushing him. Not right now. He had a fight that I thought he didn't look particularly good in, but, you know, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with him. Imagine Blair versus Keith Thurman. That would be a good one for him. I think he has a good chance of getting knocked out by Keith Thurman. But just all the talk that he talks, man. You want to get that man murdered? No, dude, Blair the Flair is a legitimate fighter. Blair the Flair is a legitimate fighter, man. No joke. He's a legitimate fighter. He's a guy that can be a top. He has the potential to be a top 15 welterweight. He's a legit fighter, man. You know what I mean? Muscle Man said, Fanon, you went past my question. Can you go back and answer it, man? That is asking for a lot, brother. If I don't see it right away, you gotta put it right back in there. Because I don't want to take time. I already had to go get my phone. You know? I don't see it, Muscle Man. I went back and I didn't see it. I went back a ways and I didn't see it. So put it in the bottom of the chat, my friend, and I'll make sure that I get it the next. I'll look for it, Muscle Man. Mike Kirkland in that building, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. He said, Fanon, do you think the Canelo fans have much fight in themselves? I think most avoid a good fist fight growing up, just in my opinion. Man, look, dude, I think a lot of these dudes are like, honestly, I'm not going to talk. Mike Kirkland, let me tell you, man. I think that there are legitimate, real fans of Canelo Alvarez that are just, he's got a lot of fans. So a lot of those dudes are real dudes that really like Canelo and think, Martin, you are wrong about Blair. What, he's a good fighter? I mean, dude, he's a good fighter. He wouldn't get where he was now if he wasn't a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. Is he Jermell Ennis? No. You know what I mean? Is he Danny Garcia? No. Right? But he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. And I mean good fighter. I'm using a real scale. Some of these fighters are exceptional. You know what I mean? Danny Garcia is an exceptional fighter. But hold on one second. Let me get back to Mike Kirkland, and then I'll get back on that. Look, Mike, a lot of Canelo Alvarez fans are truly fans of Canelo. They like him as a fighter. They enjoy watching his fights. They legitimately think this dude is one of the best fighters in boxing. And those are reasonable people, man. Just on the real. There's nothing unreasonable about saying Canelo Alvarez is the best fighter in the world. He is clearly a top level fighter, right? No doubt about it. However, some of these people are not really Canelo Alvarez fans. What they are is anti-PBC fans. The anti-PBC fans are the guys that will immediately jump to talking about the PBC. Because it's not like if Jermell Charlo was not with the PBC and Canelo Alvarez decided to fight him and didn't fight Bivol, who was with the PBC, they more than likely would be saying the same thing. They would just switch it. They would say, oh, Bivol, what has Bivol done? Because you can literally look at Bivol's resume, and it ain't any different than Jermell's. The only difference is he's at a higher weight class, and he has one less weight class that he was a champion in. Other than that, dude, he ain't beat any killers. You know what I mean? He beat solid fighters, good fighters, solid good fighters, right? That's why I'm saying Blair Cobb is a good fighter. He's a solid fighter. Like Sullivan Barrera is a good, very good. Actually, Sullivan Barrera is a very good fighter. Very good, solid fighter. Joe Smith is a good fighter. Very good fighter. I don't care if he got a belt or not. He ain't a great fighter. He's a good fighter. Solid, good fighter. Good win, right? Just like Sergey Deverenchenko is a good fighter. Sergey Deverenchenko is a very good fighter. Solid win. Matt Korobov is a very good fighter. Solid win, right? J-Rock is a very good fighter. Solid win, right? And that's pretty much just what it is on that. But they, a lot of these guys just don't want to see the PBC do well. Any of the fighters, because they will turn around and say Errol's a duck artist, right? Same guys. Errol's ducking Terrence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez isn't ducking Jermell, right? But if you look at the same scenarios with one another and you look at what has actually happened, there's a much stronger argument that Canelo ducked Jermell, because Jermell was his mandatory at 160 and they didn't fight. They were champions at 154 and they didn't fight. Canelo Alvarez literally just out of his mouth said they need to go fight. He need to go fight somebody else, right? Canelo Alvarez literally, Jermell Charlo beat a guy that Canelo ducked, who was Sergey Deverenchenko, who was the mandatory, his IBF mandatory, when Canelo Alvarez got stripped of that belt for not fighting Sergey Deverenchenko, right? Well, Jermell beat that guy. Right? Same thing for Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade had the WBO belt when Canelo had the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC, and they didn't fight. Right? But they don't say that Canelo ducked him. However, right now, if the same people point at Errol Spence says, well, look, Errol shouldn't be trying to fight for unification fights. He's ducking Crawford. But you'd be like, what do you mean? He's unifying the belts. Yeah, but that isn't, no. The better fight is Crawford. So when it comes to Canelo, when it comes to Errol, it's the fight that matters. When it comes to Canelo, it's the belts that matter. They literally change their criteria depending on who the fighter is. And that, my friend, is a telltale sign of bias. Not you just not liking what somebody has to say. Like the people who are always calling people biased say. Oh, you're biased. I'm using the same standard. If you use the same standard for different fighters, that's not biased. That's a consistent standard. It's not biased. It's consistent standard. I'm not being unfair to anybody. I'm saying, look, man, if you're going for either a championship or you're defending your mandatory, you're not ducking somebody. If you move up in weight not to fight your mandatory or move up in weight not to fight another champion, you're ducking. You know what I'm saying? You move up, and when you could be ducking if you lead a weight class and go up. Because, dude, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a harder fight at 147 than anybody was for Canelo at 154. You know what I mean? But anyway, you get my point. I just think that these guys, a lot of times, that they're not really, there are a lot of people that just want to see the PBC fail. They'll bring up Deontay Wilder's name in the middle of an argument. If you frustrate him enough. Well, what about Deontay Wilder? Why didn't you're continuing your Deontay Wilder argument into the Canelo subject. So for them, like take, for example, these bums that have these channels. They are in one long, prolonged argument with me. Well, actually, they're in the argument themselves, right? But it's one subject after another subject, after another subject, after another subject, after another subject. Whatever the subject is, they're disagreeing. They're debunking and they're disagreeing, no matter what the subject is. We went from Anthony Joshua to Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence to Canelo and Jermall Charlo to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury to, before that it was Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. Before that it was Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. It's an ongoing, these guys are wrong. These guys are wrong. And only thing that changes is the name of the fighters that they're disagreeing about. They're just in a consistent state of arguing, right? And it may be me that they're arguing against or somebody else whose names they mention, but it is just a general bias against American fighters. They have a bias against American fighters because it's clear that they hold American fighters to a different standard than they hold other people. They hold PBC fighters to a different standard than they hold other people. They held Deontay Wilder to a different standard than they held Anthony Joshua to. They hold Errol Spence Jr. to a different standard than Canelo, right? Because what is the standard? The standard is you can't be you. You can't be you. Jermell Charlo is a guy that what he do? He's got this pretty much doing what Canelo Alvarez did. He lost to a guy, right? But he avenged it. He won 3 belts. He got a draw. He got a loss and a draw on his record. And what did he do? He's going right back and trying to run it back. If he beats Castano again, he'll be an undisputed champion. Let's see if he gets on an undisputed list. I don't know anybody else that's got 3 belts is not on the undisputed list, on a pound for pound list. Who else has 3 belts in boxing is not on a pound for pound list with 3 belts? Right? Anthony Joshua got his hands on 3 belts. Anthony Joshua was on that list with 3 belts. Right? Teofimo Lopez was on that list and he never defended a belt. He got, really technically speaking, if I'm going with the Devin Haney fans, he's got 3 belts. Right? Pound for pound. But what happens with Lomachenko and Terrence Crawford, right? Terrence Crawford got undisputed. The same people could not have cared less about Terrence Crawford getting undisputed because people were supporting Terrence Crawford and it didn't have anything to do with the PBC. It was all top rank. All top rank, right? He was at 140. He became the undisputed champion. Did he get Fighter of the Year? No, he did not. Who got Fighter of the Year that year? Vasily Lomachenko. And Vasily Lomachenko literally only fought one guy in his own weight class. Other than that, he fought a guy that was moving up from 122 and fought a guy coming off of a loss, moving up from 126 to 130. And he fought Jason Sosa. Jason Sosa was the only guy, and he's a journeyman. Only guy that he beat in his own weight class the year that he got Fighter of the Year was Jason Sosa. Other than that, nobody was even in his weight class. Terrence Crawford wins undisputed, becomes the first guy in 10 years to be undisputed. Did they say it was historic? No. Even though Terrence Crawford was the first person at 140 pounds ever to do it. What did they say? Oh, well, it was weak opposition. He beat Felix Diaz. He beat Julius Ndungo. He beat Victor Postal. I mean, who did he do? Who did he do that against? I mean, it's just Victor Postal, Felix Diaz, and Julius Ndungo. Come on, man. That's not good competition. We don't care about how many belts he has. Those are the alphabet. It's alphabet soup. That's what they said and why the Boxing Writers Association of America didn't give him Fight of the Year for doing it. But Canelo, same people, different fighter, right? Same people, different fighter. Canelo beats Caleb Plant, Yildirim, Billy Joe Saunders, and Callum Smith. And what he does, that's historic, though, for him. For Canelo, it's historic. For Terrence Crawford, it's not enough to get Fighter of the Year. That is biased. That is what bias is. Where you can look at 2 different fighters and you got 2 different standards for them. Steroids. Canelo Alvarez literally tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Literally did. Literally did. Roy Jones Jr. never even tested positive in a fight, and they still hold that on him. They hold that on Shane Mosley. He didn't get suspended for that. Canelo got suspended for it, and it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. These guys, the ones that are always running around calling other people this and that and the other thing, are projecting. Fanon, stop hyping these prospects, Blair and Boots. Man, I'm hype whoever the hell I want to hype, Bevo Boxing. What do you mean? What am I supposed to do, not hype them? I'm not hyping them. I'm telling you, I know a good fighter when I see a good fighter. And Bivol, and what's his name? Let me slide down here, man. I'm going to go down here, man. If I miss you, hey, man, 2 or 3. Say all facts. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you, man, for the love and that support in that super chat, bro. Yeah, when I go on those long tirades, y'all got to stop me. Ramen Turner said, PBC is not a promotional company. They are an advisory and management company, meaning all the fighters are independent contracts. They make their own decisions, so the only real fighter on PBC is Wilder. Let me tell you, man, when I'm mentioning the PBC, I'm talking about what people say. That is black fighters. Manny Pacquiao is not a PBC fighter, according to them. Even though the last several fights of his career were on the PBC, he had an advisor, he had every criteria to be a PBC fighter. He is technically not a PBC fighter to them. They'll be like, oh, what they'll say is Manny Pacquiao was fighting on a PBC card. Or he's over there beating up all the PBC fighters, is what they'll say. They'll just miraculously not make him PBC. Anyway, PBC, when they use it, is code word for black fighters. Okay? Some of them. Not everybody. Anyway, again, much love to everybody that supports in the Super Chat and the Cash App. Thank you guys so much for keeping the channel rocking. I'm still waiting on the Canelo Alvarez fans. I've been looking. You know what I mean? I've been looking. Hey, T saying, I know what the PBC is. There's no need to explain that. I know what the PBC is. I have a clear understanding of what the PBC is. Sorry about it. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Didn't Manny recently complain the PBC owes him money? No, he did not. Manny Pacquiao has not said anything about the PBC. He's been running for president. That's the only news that has been coming out about Manny, about him. You're confusing him for Logan Paul. Logan Paul is the one that's saying Floyd Mayweather Jr. did not pay him his money. And he's talking out the side of his neck because if he really had something, he'd sue him and go get his money. He'd sue him and go get his money, but he ain't doing that. He's talking in the press. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Ghost said, nah, that's Bob Arum who owed him. Oh, that's Bob Arum who owed him money. Oh, is that what it is? Said Ghost, Bob Arum owed Manny money for decades. He said, oh, Fahim Satori said the PBC got Manny out of debt with the IRS and Bob Arum put him in it. And Bob Arum put him in it, man. Come on, where you guys at, man? Seriously. But on the real, I think that your boy is about the most underrated fighter in boxing. Jermell Charlo and Tay Jones. Nice knockout, Tay. That's what's up. Man, and by the way, Tay is a boxer. So I could understand why Tay would be frustrated with that statement. Because I'm not meaning that guys on the come up shouldn't be on TV. I am definitely not saying that, man. There's a lot of dudes. Matter of fact, if you want some, man, put Money Pal back on TV. Money Pal's back on TV. Dallas Roquemore said PBC is only hated on because they have a lot of black fighters and Floyd is connected to it. There's a lot to do with it. Yeah. Green Villain Mike. Hey, Fanon, who you got? Benavidez or Plant? I got Benavidez. I'm telling you, man, Plant got to be able to beat somebody up, man. It's all love, Pac-Man Tay. I understand what you mean. I didn't mean to. Trust me, I respect your grind, brother. I wouldn't say that about you. I wouldn't say that about guys like Marlon Soicy Sims. I wouldn't say that guy like Samuel Arnold and Money Pal and all you guys that are very, very good fighters getting your stuff on. That's not what I mean at all. Just be very, very straight with you. But I could understand how you could have taken it like that. But nah, I'm talking about dudes that are just hopelessly unprofessional, man. I'm talking about guys like me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about guys that are built like me jumping out there talking about, you know, let me go for the Austin, Texas, South Austin, let me go for the North Austin, Texas Round Rock Championship. You know what I mean? And slapping that and then charging me money to watch it. You know what I mean? Justin Hawkins said, that's what's up, Tay. Thank you, brother. Fanon meant stop the UK bum bashes. Yeah, I was like, I'm just, if I would have known that's what DAZN is primarily, is a UK bum bash. But they got in women's boxing. The reason that I stay watching DAZN though, that for real, is that their upper level fights. I do like their upper level fights. I don't mind watching them. You know what I mean? I don't mind the Anthony Joshuas and the Dillian Whites and the Joseph Parkers and guys like that. You know what I mean? I don't mind those guys. I definitely love seeing guys like Josh Warrington get beat up by Vargas. I love that. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of the zone. Because every once in a while you get to see them, see them UK dudes exposed on a regular basis. You get to see these guys that these UK dudes is hyping up for real and be like, man, that's the dude you said, man, you better get out of here, man. Hey, OTF Solo, man. Mayweather tried to make a Manny fight happen in 2010 and send him a contract, but Manny refused because he didn't want to take random drug testing. Therefore, Floyd fought Mosley. Yeah, I mean, people been known that, but it's all Floyd's fight. Oh, yeah, Chocolatito too? Nah. Chocolatito beat a Mexican dude that I liked. Julio Cesar Martinez. I like that little dude. Even though I'm going to tell you, man, I might like him a little bit less after that fight. Bro, man, stop all of that gamesmanship when you're getting your ass whooped. Okay, excuse my language. You know what I mean? When you're getting beat down, it's not the time to be. Come, man, that dude did that and got punched in the face. I was like, man, for real? Man, he was like, boom, boom, come on, bow, got punched right in the face. I'm like, man, come on, man. You lucky. You know what? He was lucky that Chocolatito's a nice guy on the real. And he didn't start clowning him and doing all kind of stuff like Marco Antonio Barrera did Prince Nassim. That, you know what I mean? Yeah, that peroxide hair caught him, bro. That caught that man. You know what I mean? Jake Salvador said, I like Julio Cesar Martinez too, but he looked weak against Chocolatito. Yeah, because he wasn't prepared, man. He didn't look prepared. And I don't think he would have won anyway. I don't think he would have won. Chocolatito was never the same after Jacobs. What do you mean? Jacobs? He lost Soy Roivaside. He got beat up by Soy Roivaside. That's what happened there. He got beat up by Soy Roivaside. Yeah, no PEDs. Nah, he just fought a better level fighter, man. He looked good against some UK fighters. Man, Julio Cesar Martinez came up beating up them UK dudes, beating up Sonny Edwards. That's what that was. He's a killer. He ran in there and beat up one of their top-notch UK champions. You know what I'm saying? He beat up that UK champion. Sonny Edwards' brother. What's his name? Charlie Edwards. He beat Charlie Edwards. You know what I mean? But then he got in there with Chocolatito. Chocolatito did him dirty because Chocolatito's another level fighter, man. I'm trying to tell you. But you know what it is? That's just my beef with UK boxing fans. That fan, like UK boxing, the problem with UK boxing fans will fanboy on the wrong guy. At least Canelo's fanboying on the right guy. Like if you're gonna fanboy somebody, Canelo's a good boy. It's good to fanboy. No joke. Canelo Alvarez is good to fanboy because he's going to be tough to beat for anybody. He's going to be good. He's going to be tough to fight for. He's going to be tough to beat for anybody. However, I'm going to tell you this. When he loses, I'm going to laugh at y'all. When he loses again, I'm going to be laughing at y'all. No joke. Ha, 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 ha. Laughing at you because you overrate people and you disrespect everybody else. You guys, they just go out of their way of disrespecting other fighters. And I'm telling you, that's going to catch up to Canelo. There's a reason he ain't fighting them dudes. You can say what you want, but there's a reason he keeps not fighting them guys. There's a reason why he's moving out of weight classes and not fighting them. It's a reason for that. And what the reason is, we don't know. I know you accept the reason that he gives, which is why don't they fight each other and then I'll fight the winner. As in, I'm not fighting all three of them. I may be fighting one, is what he says. That's the natural result of what he said. How about you all go fight each other and maybe I'll fight one of you. But I'm not going to be fighting Benavidez, Charlo, and Andrade. I'm going to fight these three guys. I'm going to fight Bivol, Gennady Golovkin, and Makabu. I can do those three. I don't know, maybe one of those guys. And that's a big-ass maybe on that. Maybe one of those guys. There's a reason for that, man. You better believe it. There's a reason. There's a reason. That's what they said about Clubber Lang. Just what Terry Schmoot said. Who is Andrade beating? Who did Clubber Lang beat? Who did Clubber Lang beat? I'm number one. That means I'm the best. Is what Clubber Lang told Rocky. I'm the best. And then he proceeded to beat the dog issue out of that man. Oh, what a shocker. Oh, what a shocker. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, what a shocker. That's what happens in boxing. Oh, what a shocker. Dion W in the building said he dropped that guard because he was gassed and that boy's arm felt like no. Hey, dog, all I'm trying to tell you is I ain't no undefeatable fighters, homie. Ain't no undefeatable fighters. There are people that will legitimately really believe that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. would have moved to 168 and fought Andre Ward, that Floyd Mayweather Jr. would beat Andre Ward. And you guys, no doubt, are in this. Hey, Blacksmith Ross, you my dude, man. And you guys are undoubtedly, without a doubt, you are in this chat right now. You people that believe that Floyd Mayweather Jr. can literally beat Andre Ward. I've talked to you before. You guys are how gambling institutions make their money. Because you get set up for the okie doke. Okay? Certain cats like matchmakers, they don't do all of that. They're looking at the guys actually how they fight and saying, you know what? Canelo has difficulties with this, and this. That's what gives him trouble. This, and this. That fighter does this, and this. That's going to be a problem on him. He's going to have a hard time dealing with that. Okay? They're going to have a hard time dealing with that. That's how a matchmaker thinks. Oh, he's got problems with this, and this. Like I'm telling you, like Tyson Fury. I'm going to tell you right now, Tyson Fury don't like short fighters. Don't like it. I'm telling you. And he's going to get clipped by a short fighter. And that chin is dented. Deontay dented that can, homie. That can is dented. He dented that can multiple times. That can is dented. Do not doubt that somebody else going to get their hands on that man's chin and dent that chin and take advantage of that dented chin. TJ said, Fanan, so why would Ward beat Floyd apart from size? No, I'm not going to go apart from size. I'm going to say because of size. Because of size and because of style. He's too big for the man, and he is very aggressive. And he is as skilled. He's highly skilled. He's too big, he's too aggressive, and ain't no way on top of that he get Floyd beating that man. And that's no disrespect. And I'm telling you, that's no disrespect. No disrespect to Andre Ward, because if Floyd was telling you, Floyd would tell you the same thing if he's honest. It would never leave his mouth, but he'd tell you the same thing. He's beat him the same way, the same thing about dude. Hey, I like that you said 7 deuce. See, this is what I'm talking about. What about the Denton Wilder's head? That means Deontay Wilder can get knocked out because he took a lot of punishment. It means the same thing. When somebody dents your can, you're susceptible. He's got a body like everybody else. Now, you, 7 deuce, what about Fury's? What about Fury's? What about Fury's? Fury got knocked down a whole lot of time. Whole lot of times. Got put on that back. Whole lot of times. 4 times. 4 times. Floyd got Mayweather doesn't. Let me tell you something, man. I don't have Deontay Wilder going to the Hall of Fame. That's my dude forever and ever. Deontay Wilder's a man's man. No joke. Deontay Wilder's a warrior and proved it. No ducking in him. No ducking in him. No quitting in him. Huge overachiever. Never got caught cheating. Never. Didn't get caught with floppy gloves. Didn't get caught with nandrolone. You can say whatever you want. Tyson Fury's career will never pass Deontay Wilder's, even with those wins. Because Deontay Wilder never got caught for steroids, and he never got caught cheating. He never got caught going into the ring with loaded gloves or detached thumbs on gloves. He fights fair fights. You don't see him choke holding people, guillotine dropping people. You don't see any of that stuff. Deontay Wilder picked up the sport of boxing at 19 years old, went on to defend the heavyweight championship 10 times. He did way more than anybody expected out of that man. Ain't no shame in Deontay Wilder's game, dog. Ain't no shame in that. None. Never, ever, ever in the ring did he embarrass himself. Ever. All he said was, look, man, if you're going to beat me, you got to beat me. Do not throw in the towel. What kind of warrior is that? That's anti-Canelo. And guess what? He didn't even have to do it. He didn't even have to do it. He could have left with the draw. Easy. He could have had the draw. He got in the ring as a champion with Tyson Fury and got out of the ring as a champion with Tyson Fury. And he could have just went somewhere else and went on about his business and never fought him again. Could have picked 5-6 tomato cans and made some money off. Boom, 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 boom. But he did he? No, he did not. He as a guy that still had his belt exercised the rematch clause. And then sued after he got knocked out in the second fight, sued to get another rematch. Nah, dude, certain character things, people will remember. Like my man, Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson, do you know the biggest credit to Floyd Patterson's career was? Best thing about Floyd Patterson's career is he fought Sonny Liston and he refused to duck Sonny Liston, even though he knew he wasn't going to win the fight. And he went back in and he fought him again, even though he knew he wasn't going to win the fight. He said, look, man, this guy's the #1 fighter in the world. If he beats me, he deserves it. I'm not about to sit up here and not let this man fight for this championship. I'm about to fight him. And he fought him, even though he knew he was going to lose. Something these bums would not do now. What they would say is, who's he beaten? What's he done? What's Sonny Liston done? He's not done anything. No, This guy he's beating this guy and this guy. Oh man, no way. He doesn't deserve the fight. We already know what's going to happen. That's what they would say. Blacksmith Ross in the building. There's a factual saying in boxing. A good man usually can beat a great little man, meaning a very tough, well-balanced guys at 175 will beat a great 160 guys like Ray Robinson. Roberson, you mean Ray Robinson. Much love in that super chat, brother. Yeah, it'll happen, dude. You know what I mean? Exactly, man. Man, look, dude, there is no shame in Deontay Wilder. He proved you guys wrong in every way, shape, and form. He did. He didn't draw any fans. He never made any money. Nobody knew him. He never fought anybody. All of that, dude, he put all of that to rest. All of that stuff to rest. That's it. The man did put all your nonsense to rest. 7 Deuce said, Sonny Liston took a dive against Ali. That's because he was going to get his ass whooped. So, yeah, which was the dive? The first one when he beat the brakes off that man? Hey, and by the way, man, thank you so much, Blacksmith Ross, for holding down the chat. Brother, thank you so much, man. You know how it is, man. We got 429 people in here. I'm telling you, every time we get over by 350, it's a whole bunch of trolls. So y'all hit that like button, man. Come on, we got 437. Would y'all mind hitting the like button? We only got 289 likes. Y'all hit that like button. You know what I mean? There's a reason there's so many weight classes. Yeah, people want to make a lot of money. You don't need them. Man, there ain't no difference between a 154 and a 160 guy. All those guys, man, Jared Hurd could have been fighting at 160. Could have been fighting at 160. Man, those guys, they don't need all these weight classes. Don't need them. You know why? You know what's the proof that they don't need them? The fact that these guys keep going up in them. All this, obviously, you don't need all these weight classes if every other person is going up fighting in 3 weight classes at the same time. They're exposing it. I'm telling you. Canelo Alvarez is fighting in 2 weight classes. He's not fighting in 4. He's fighting in 2. He's fighting in 160 and he's fighting at 175. His whole career has been in 2 weight classes, something that is normal. Not something that is super, oh my God, it's been 4 weight classes. He's the only person in history to do 4 weight classes. Yeah, guess what though? If they cut these weight classes in half again, and now you got 32 weight classes, guess what? Somebody's going to go up 16 weight classes. But it'll be the same amount of weight. Canelo Alvarez, from a historical perspective, is fighting in 2 weight classes. The 160-pound division and the 175-pound division, and that is it. Okay? He is 168 is junior light heavyweight, and 154 is junior middleweight. Literally. They're the same weight class. The upper and the lower end of the same weight class, historically speaking. Which is why you see guys moving up so many. And a whole bunch of people are doing it. Don't act like they not. I can tell you a bunch of cats that have moved up all kind of weight classes because those weight classes are not needed. It's only 7. And by the way, they got same day weigh-ins. They got day before weigh-ins. Day before weigh-ins where you literally can be, these guys are walking, man, Canelo Alvarez walked into the ring against Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a middleweight. He walked into the ring, he probably weighed in at 152, and he came into the ring at 168. They are literally, I ain't counting no Bridgerweight. If there's one thing I can do for the rest of my life is disrespect Bridgerweight. There's another weight class. Woo! Hoopty-doopty-doo. That's what I'm saying. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much. He said, good morning, Fanon. A lot of Ukrainian fighters are calling for the cancellation of the Bivol Canelo. What are the percentage of that fight being canceled? And if so, will Canelo still duck Charlo? Salute Wilder. Much love in that super chat. The chances is 0 because these people are hypocrites. It's 0 and they're hypocrites. No, 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 no. I put that at about 0. 0. And there will be no shame on Canelo at all. Now, let me tell you what I would think was happening if this was Errol Spence Jr. fighting a Russian. If it was Errol Spence Jr. fighting a Russian or a PBC guy fighting a Russian, in that case, throw him off the card. Even though they're probably not saying that against Stanosis and Butiev. Because what is Stanosis? Is Stanosis Russian? Lithuanian. And what is Butiev? What is Butiev? Butiev, Rajab Butiev is Russian. So now they ain't putting Butiev off the card either. So let me check that. Yeah, Butiev is Russian. So they got to put Butiev off the card too. They ain't putting Butiev off the card. So there goes that. Let me see something, man. Let me go back. This situation shows you Canelo, deep ties in boxing. He literally runs the show. It's just the money, man. It's the money. It's the money. Hey, but I'm still waiting, bro. Hey, just a fan. I wrestled in high school in Nebraska. 10 pounds is a lot. That's the minimum space between that weight classes should be. When do you weigh in, just a fan? When do you weigh in, just a fan, in high school wrestling? Just a fan, when do you weigh in? And I'm honestly asking you, when you're about to wrestle, when do you weigh in? Big Strike said, good morning, King Fanon. I don't understand why people are saying Deontay Wilder ducked Devin Haney and they're not in the same way. Everybody in boxing is ducked Devin Haney, man. You know the doubt. You know it. You know it. You know it. When did you weigh in into your high school wrestling? When did we weigh in hours? There you go. That's a different thing. You're weighing in. It's a different thing. They're weighing in the day before, bro. They get to put all their weight back on. Yeah, hours before the match. Right. If you don't have nearly as much time, to rehydrate. So yeah, 10 pounds is a lot there. However, when you talk about water weight, dude, a whole day, you can get a guy to completely dehydrate and get all their water weight back. Same day weigh-ins, brother. They wouldn't be able to do that for same day weigh-ins. Now it's the same day. Because so you're not going to cut yourself to death like that. You know what I mean? And Grim Reaper said right before the match, yeah, you weigh in right there. You got to be within 10 pounds. They don't do that in boxing. In boxing, dude, there can be huge weight differences between guys in the same weight class. You know what I mean? And a guy ain't nowhere near that weight class when they actually get in the ring. 10 pounds is a lot. Let's go through what the weight divisions are. 147, but you're also not wrestling, you're boxing. But it is a lot. 10 pounds is a lot. 147 to 160 is 13 pounds. 13-pound range. What's 135 to 147 to 12? That makes more sense, 12 pounds, man, to me. King of Kings, Fanon Duck, Devin Haney, salute, brother. You know I did. I ain't fighting that man. I'm not fighting that man. Too dangerous. Look, man, y'all can get out of here with that too. What was your weight class? Just a fan. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not me. Terry Schmoo said, dude, Canelo may be 200 fighting in super middleweight, man. Look, man, all I'm trying to tell you is it is what it is with all of that stuff. If you're looking at what cats have done, historically speaking, those are two weight classes. And people are just fine and won in those weight classes. RSA Boxing Life, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. What's on that cash app, bro? What's good with you, sir? Much love in that super chat, that cash app. Thank you so much, bro. Just a Fan said, don't some boxing contracts have hydration limits? Yeah, when somebody's a diva. Yeah, diva contracts have hydration limits. Diva contracts do. Yeah, like Oscar De La Hoya was the king of rehydration clauses. That was Oscar De La Hoya's thing. You can only gain so much, so you have to stay drained all the way up to the fight. However, really, it is what it is. We're in these rules now. We talked about that earlier, and that's why I say it's difficult to compare. Does Canelo have? I don't know if Canelo has rehydration clauses or not. They probably don't. They probably don't talk about it too much, but you know, I wouldn't doubt that they did. I think they said something about there being one for Caleb Plant, that he had a rehydration clause in his. But you know, it is what it is, man. E-Money Bag said Fury outweighed Wilder by 75 pounds in the first five, and it was barely spoken about, but Canelo moves 8 pounds and his great feat. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what it is. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Well, come on, can we get the likes over 400? We got 327. We got 400 people, 204 people, 424 people in the building, 328 likes, man. Can y'all hit that like button for me? It'd be appreciated. It'd be appreciated, man. Greatly appreciated, man. And again, thank you to everybody that's been supporting in the Super Chat and in the Cash App. You guys are great. And in the channel memberships, thank you guys so much for keeping the channel afloat. It is huge and greatly appreciated. What's going on? I ain't seen Emmanuel Bain in the middle. What's going on, Emmanuel Joseph Bain? He said the IBF has that 10-pound rehydration limit before the title fights. Yeah, unless it's a unification fight, in which point in time it's not there. He said he did with Jacobs. He had a rehydration with Jacobs. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he has everything up in there. You know, it is what it is, man. You know, got to pay the cost to be the boss. You know, got to pay the cost to be the boss. RSA Boxing Life says, salute, good brother. Bomb Squad for lights. Freddie Roach called it a 10-round stoppage. Spence versus Ugas. Wow, Cash App. Yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah, that's what he said, man. He said mid to late rounds. He thinks it's a stoppage, but that's Freddie Roach. And Freddie Roach predicts knockouts in every fight. Freddie Roach predicts knockouts in every fight, man. I swear to God. So I ain't taking that too far. I expect a good fight, man, out of your Danny Zugas, man. It may be because I'm a fan of both fighters, but on the real, I think we'll both get them, man. He said, always working and listening. Sometimes I can't chat. Oh, that's what's up, Emmanuel. Thank you, brother. Glad to know you're here, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Curtis Sewell said Floyd should have put a rehydration clause on Canelo. Why? For what? For what, dog? He didn't even need that. He didn't even need that catch weight that Canelo Alvarez offered him. Because Canelo tried to sucker him. Oh, yeah, I'll give you a catch weight. Knowing that man can make that weight. Yeah, I'll make it. To me, he tried to sweeten the pot to get the fight and said he'd do a catch weight with him. So Floyd's like, all right, if you're offering it, I don't need you. I don't need it. He said, man, I don't need it. I know you're on computer all anyway. Floyd like, man, I don't need it. Why I need it? You on them diuretics anyway. So you're going to make the weight. You're going to make the weight. You know, I don't need it, but if you want to throw it in there, all right, whatever, I'll take it. Go ahead. Yeah, 152, whatever. Dog, that crap didn't make no difference whatsoever, man. Floyd didn't need no special nothings. He could have gave Canelo Reyes gloves. He could have let him fight in isotoners. Didn't matter, brother. He was going to get whooped, bro. Hey, Freddie Roach didn't always talk this slick, did he? Hey, man, Freddie Roach always been predicting knockouts, man. Freddie Roach likes to call a knockout. He predicted Manny Pacquiao knockouts like, man, Manny Pacquiao got up off that stuff and all of a sudden them knockouts went away. When he got on that pressure. Sure, King of Kings said rehydration, dehydration, sanitation, Floyd in 12. Yeah, it don't matter, dog. He's good, whatever you wanted, dog. Floyd gonna win that fight, man. I'll just be finding it funny, man. But anyway, man, where you at, Canelo? I'm seriously waiting on it. I'm seriously waiting on it. I still have not seen it. Copper Rapperini says super heavyweight don't have a limit. Heavyweights, I don't know. You talking about something? There ain't no super heavyweight in boxing, in pro boxing. Thank God. You know what I mean? Those heavyweights do just fine. If you know what? In a matter of fact, dude, what they need to even out heavyweight boxing is to stop letting boxers grab you by the head and lay on your back. You know what I'm saying? If you have a good 6'2", 6'3", 6'3" heavyweight that can fight, dude, he's perfectly fine if you do not allow those guys to grab, hold, walk you back, do all of that stuff. If they took points away, dude, that stuff would settle itself out. You don't need it, man. The grab, hold, and mug thing, man. You know what I mean? Mr. Euro Dollars, what's going on, bro? He said, Fanon, you my new favorite channel. Fam, best unbiased news in boxing, and being from the UK, I agree 100%. I agree U.S. boxers are on a different level. But, hey, Mr. Euro Dollars, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Hey, man, them dudes. Dude, in UK, the thing is said, they will say it on UK television all the time, which is what I don't get. They will say that. They'll be like, yeah, he's ready for this level. He's not ready for that level. They know it. Says super heavyweights are the 275 pounders. Let me tell you, man, if you see a 275 pound heavyweight, they're fat. If you see a 275 pound heavyweight, they're fat. No joke. They're fat. 275 pound heavyweight is fat. If you see a 275 pound basketball player, they're fat. Or they're on juice. And I don't care what you say. Human beings do not evolve over the course of 20 years. It's the science. Yeah, I know it is the science. It's the science of that juice. You know what I'm saying? So Butterbean is fat? Yeah, Butterbean's fat. Tyson Fury is on steroids. Tyson Fury is on performance-enhancing drugs, okay? To allow his big fat ass to move around like that for 12 rounds, he is on performance-enhancing drugs, okay? And I said that. He said that. He tested positive for that. Stop. That dude, that's what that is. A man is moving, this man, and look how he keeps moving. Yeah, he's on juice. The dude literally getting punched, getting hell, all that with all big, I'm telling you, man, with that, what do you call it? Muffin top or whatever when you call it, and you got fat around all your back. Man, stop that, man. You know what I mean? LeBron is 6'8". Yeah, LeBron's on 6'8", and yeah, I got you. Yeah, he's 6'8". I know. I know. Much love in that super chat. One of these cherries picks going backfire. Robert Robles, much love in that super chat. You know what it is. Exactly. And LeBron is 266, though. He ain't 275. However, like I said, I maintain that. Okay? I maintain that. Look at man, look, let me tell you something, man. Go look at Wilt Chamberlain. Go look at Wilt Chamberlain. Go look at how he's built. Go look at guys in the 1980s and how they're built. You get up out of here, man. Them dudes ain't getting built like that without something on them, dog. Sorry. They're not getting built like that with nothing. Sorry. You can say whatever you want. Look at how he's built, though. He's built like a normal human being. He has not got bulging. He does not have 35-pound what do you call these things here? Like this? Boulders. Some of these dudes in the NBA are built like linebackers. Man, stop it, man. You know what I'm saying? Interesting angle. So you say tall and lanky, you're on roids. You know what I'm telling you something, man? Get out of here, Arcanum. See you later, dude. I know who you are, homie. Goodbye. Get out of here. I'm saying Tyson Fury's on roids because Tyson Fury tested positive. That's why. Johnny Murphy or anybody else that says it. I'm saying it because he tested positive for it. Nah, the food is different now. Yeah, food has changed. Man, get out of here, man. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Whatever. Whatever. All kind of steroids going on in boxing, but the people that look like it and act like it and get paid the most money are not on it. Shut up. You know what I mean? You guys just want to act like, oh, no, never my guy, though. Dude, stop it. Stop it. You know what I mean? Guys running, man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. These dudes, man, man, please. Anyway, Mike the Deal said, I was watching Foreman, and dude, Foreman is huge. I was watching Foreman last night, man. He was a physical specimen, 6'3", 220 to 225. That's a normally human big man. But I guess these guys in the NFL ain't on nothing either, right? I guess those guys in the NFL who are 6'3", 260 pounds, lifting a bench pressing a truck 8 times, I guess they're just clean. Man, stop it, man. You know what I mean? Just stop it, bro. All I'm telling you is the man already tested positive. Once you test positive, shut up. All right? I ain't trying to hear it, bro. I don't care about the boxing boys hating on Wilder, man. They can do what they want to do. Why are you telling me about it? Brandon Smith says a lot of them guys in the 80s were cornbread fed, but still never got that big. That's because they're not on that stuff, man. Come on, man. This is what it is, man. He said, Angel Westwood, you shouldn't make Auntie side hurt like that. Dwight Howard. Yeah, I mean, just come on, man. You know, anyway. Yeah, dude, these dudes are big dudes, man. Dude, I saw Scottie Pippen in person when Scottie Pippen was still playing for the Bulls. Man, that dude was, he was gigantic. Like, the amount of muscle and rip he had on him, I was like, whoa. Man, them dudes are big. But anyway, it is what it is. Hey, again, man, Much love to everybody in the super chat, everybody in the Cash App. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel today. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Justin Booker said they keep making minor changes to the molecules to pass the test. Yeah, dude, that's why a guy like Tyson Fury can keep all that energy against Deontay Wilder and never get tired. If Deontay Wilder wants to change things, the best thing he can do is get on steroids. Is spend a lot of money to do that. I'm telling you, that will make a huge difference in his performance. Yeah, absolutely. Just like Vinny Pazienza said. Vinny Pazienza said it. He was like, man, look, what Floyd Mayweather, dude, this is what Vinny Pazienza said about Deontay Wilder going into the Tyson Fury fight. He's like, look, man, I'm going to tell you straight. Deontay Wilder needs to get on steroids. That's what he needs to do. If he wants to beat Tyson Fury, get on steroids. You cannot going to beat these guys like that if you're not on them, because they're going to get tired. You're going to get tired and they're not going to get tired. Look at the difference between how quickly Deontay Wilder got tired and Tyson Fury never got tired. Needs to run. Dog, come on, man. You think Tyson Fury really running 15 miles a day? Tyson Fury got big. Dog, Tyson Fury is on the juice. Fighters used to run and run and run. They would still get tired, man. These guys got extra molecules. They got extra molecules of oxygen on their red blood cells. Okay? They on the juice, man. These dudes are on the juice, man. They on the juice. Anyway, Ime said, Fanon, all these fighters promoting Snack, inventor Connie, the creator, was the steroids distributor king. Yeah, but I don't think Snack is the juice, though. I don't. I really don't think Snack is the juice. But seriously, some people just don't want to use it. And I don't think some of these guys, and Deontay Wilder is lean, very lean. Not a lick of fat on that dude, man. Not a lick of fat on that dude. Because he got tired. He got tired, man. Hold on one second. Oh. The third simple NSU said, Fanon, needs your opinion. Who would win between Ryan Garcia and Virgil Ortiz at 147? Man, Virgil Ortiz by Moida. Virgil Ortiz by Moida. Moida. Not even murder. Moida. Moida. You kidding me? Virgil Ortiz will absolutely mop the floor to Ryan Garcia, man. That will be 8 rounds? 8? Tops? 8? By 8 rounds. 8 rounds. Ain't no way. Virgil Ortiz. Man, let me tell you, man. You know who I want to see fight? I want to see Virgil Ortiz and Josh Taylor. Virgil Ortiz will not. I would love to see that fight, man. I'm telling you, man. Virgil Ortiz will be a nightmare for Josh Taylor. Nightmare for Josh Taylor. Let alone Ryan Garcia, man. And I'm going to tell you somebody else who needs to stay away from Virgil Ortiz. Devin Haney better stay on the other side of the planet from Virgil Ortiz. Oh, but no. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but no. No. Man, Virgil Ortiz is legit, man. I'm telling you, Virgil Ortiz is that dude, man. Virgil Ortiz got the chance to be that dude because I love his style, man. I love that style on Virgil Ortiz. Man, yeah, I ain't gonna stop nutting. Much love in that super chat. Again, man, thank y'all to everybody that supports in the super chat and the Cash App. Brother, it makes the channel go. Thank you so much. Keith Nolan in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for, man. He said, yo, Fanon, my bad if you answered this already, but are you going to go live for either the Spence Ugas fight or the Shakur Valdez fight? I'm going live for both. Much love in that super chat, bro. And thank you so much for your support. I am going live for both of them son of a guns. Both of them. And I'm doing a Saturday night show every Saturday Just so even when there's not a fight, I'm doing a Saturday night show. Because if I don't do my Saturday night show, I'll never call these fights. You know what I mean? Stop, bro. Haney, Larry Lopez. Yes, absolutely. You talking about Virgil Ortiz and Devin Haney? Yes. Virgil Ortiz over Haney. Absolutely. Virgil Ortiz is very, very, very big. And he is very, very, very aggressive. And he is very defensively sound. And I am telling you right now, I don't like that fight for none of them dudes down there. Okay? He's going to be a 160 pounder. Virgil's a big dude. Because why? There's two weight classes. He's starting at 147. He will be at 160. Okay? He's a big boy. All right? Hey, no way, man. Thank you, Keith Nolan. No joke. They two weight classes difference. I'm just telling you, 135 to 140. I'm telling you from now on, I think about fighters in terms of the original weight classes. He's going to go to 147. He'll go to 147. Mike Kirkland. He said, I agree with you. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for the support, bro. He said, I agree with you that Fury is juicing, but I always remember Wilder said he doesn't run with juice and running. He wouldn't have been, he would have been better, in my opinion. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But I can't tell you on that. Much love in that super chat, bro. And hey, no bad vibes said, Fanon, on my way to work, as always, wanted to say real quick, Shakur and Valdez, am I the only one excited? Shakur about to unify 130? Oh, no. I'm amped. Best fight named so far this year. Best fight named so far this year. Best fight living in this year. AJ, I ain't living in the past. I'm living in weight classes, homie. I'm living in the present. Dude, every fighter that's at them weight classes go up those weight classes. Every one of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not living in the past. Shane Mosley started at 135. He went to 140 and he wound up at 154. Shane Mosley's career was 135 and 147. He dipped into 154 at middleweight for a second, right? Oscar De La Hoya went from basically 135 to 147 and he dipped in to 160 for about a minute. That's Oscar De La Hoya's career. Look at the weight ranges. I'm telling you truthful. I'm looking at the weight ranges. And the weight ranges have stayed consistent no matter how many weight classes there have been. Same weight ranges. Right? What did Manny Pacquiao do? Pretty much since Manny Pacquiao hit puberty, right? Manny Pacquiao was fighting at he went from 126, he got to 135, he went to 147. Right? Those are the same weight classes. Those are basically the same weight classes that Henry Armstrong fought at. 126, 147, 126, 135, and 147. He dipped into middleweight. It's the same weight range as Henry Armstrong. No, I'm not living in the past, man. You getting fooled by weight classes and thinking that the body is different. Human beings are different. They're not any different. Lightweight to heavyweight. Sam Langford went pretty much from, lightweight to heavyweight. Similar to, but really middleweight to heavyweight, not really lightweight to heavyweight. Primarily middleweight to heavyweight. I think he went from middleweight to heavyweight. I don't think he went to lightweight to heavyweight. I think he went to middleweight. I think he's a middleweight to heavyweight. Sam Langford wasn't a lightweight. He's a very, very barrel-chested dude. I don't think he went to he wasn't a lightweight. He's about 5'9", about 165 pounds, something like that. He didn't weigh 130. Okay, he wasn't that small. Sam Langford was not that small. But because I do not believe he's ever a lightweight. If he fought because he was fighting, because early in his career, he fought Jack Johnson. He was fighting Jack Johnson early in his career. Floyd, look, there you go. Like Roy Jones Jr. went basically from 160 to heavyweight, about the same as Sam Langford did. When I'm talking about the weight ranges. At 135, okay. At 135, that's a lot. I didn't know he was in 135. That's a lot. But if he did fight in 135, that had to be early in his career, man, because he was not that small. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light, heavyweight, heavyweight. Yep, he went all the way from lightweight. I wonder how old he was when he was a lightweight, though. If he was a lightweight, he was probably very, very young. So what is it? He was born in 1883. So how old was he? Man, how old was he when he fought at lightweight? Yeah, that's something nasty. That's why they say he's the greatest of all time, bro. No joke. That's why they say he's the greatest of all time. And for that, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But yeah, you're right on that, man. Copper Aborigines. Everyone gets chin checked in boxing. That's why you're fans and not fighters yourselves. Fighters don't say it like that because we know you get chin checked. You're going to get chin checked. No joke. You're going to get chin checked. He fought Jack Blackburn at 135. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it because I thought it was middleweight, but nah, he's a welterweight. He's at lightweight, welterweight. He's at all in weight classes. God dog. And winning at all of those? That's something nasty, man. Third simple NSU said, Fanon, what do you think about a scrap between Boots and Jermell? That would be a good one. Oh, give me Boots. When he's mature. Wait for the fight and then give me Boots. You know what I'm saying? Wait for the fight, but then give me Jerron Ennis. Man, I'm telling you, Jermell can go, man. Jermell a big boy, man. Jermell a stud. Like Jermell said, he a stud. Like he said about Floyd. He said about Errol. Fight Errol, he a stud. I got you, F Society. I got you, man. I got the merch. It's got to come. I should strike a contract with somebody that don't F with me no more to get my merch done. Man, I do not take well to pressure. You know what I mean? Anyway, man. But look, man, back to that weight class stuff. Look, man, if you got guys that are going all those weight classes, the body doesn't change. These guys are literally fighting in the same weight range. Same weight range. Man, Errol Spence Jr. Floyd Mayweather fought from the 135-pound division, right? Because he started at 130, right? Roughly 130. He may have had a fight or two at 126, but his career started at 130, which is 135. So 135, and then he goes up to 147, and then he takes a one off against a small middleweight. That is reasonable, man. That is reasonable. But if you cut every division into 100 pieces, it's like money. You know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, we got these billionaires, right? So take, for example, Kanye West is a billionaire, right? Somebody told me Kanye West is a billionaire. That's what I was told. Kanye West is a billionaire. Or better yet, somebody I know, it's hard for me to get my head around that. But Kanye West is a billionaire, worth $1 billion, right? What's that guy's name, man? That oil baron. The oil baron in the 1930s. Well, say Rockefeller, right? John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller was worth like $200 million in the 1920s, right? Kanye West is worth $1 billion. So people would think that, do you think then that Kanye West was richer than John David Rockefeller or Morgan, what's he, JP Morgan? That's the guy I'm thinking about. You think he was richer than JP Morgan? JP Morgan got $300 million. Kanye West has $1 billion. Who is the wealthier man? Morgan Stanley. No, or not Morgan Stanley. No, JP Morgan. JP or Carnegie, they were richer. By far, they were richer with way fewer dollars. Why? Because you took the dollar and cut it into a million pieces. Because a penny is now worth $1. Back then, you could buy stuff for a penny that you can't get for $50 now. You had people literally living off a penny a week. They were people that were not making $1 a month and could live off $10 a month. They could live off $10 a month. They could live off $10 a month. You cannot live a day off $10 now. You can't live, no way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, OG, why don't you sell t-shirts and mugs? Honestly, man, I just never really thought about it. Yes, this money is inflated now. Yeah, it's inflated. That's my point. And that's what has happened to boxing. Boxing is inflated. They inflated it. All they did is cut the weight classes in half. That's it. Now Evander Holyfield is not a heavyweight. He's a bridgerweight. Muhammad Ali is not a heavyweight. He's a bridgerweight. Joe Louis is a bridgerweight, right? Now they're not even heavyweights anymore because they developed a weight class for them that isn't just added another weight class and 2 weight classes between heavyweight and light heavyweight. Even though guys are fighting in the same way, man. Robert Robles said, you missed 2 of my super chats, OG. Thank you. My bad. I think I just got that said. OG, much love in that super chat. Why don't you sell t-shirts and mugs? I don't know, but I need to start doing it. Because you guys are asking for it, so I'll do it. Before, I don't know, man. Same reason and Robert Robles again, let me go back up. I'm pretty sure, Robert, that I got that, though. Give me 1 second, though. Hey, y'all, can we get the likes over 400, man? It would be greatly appreciated. If you would not mind getting them likes over 400, that would be, that would be what it's about right there. If you would not mind, hook your boy up. Hold on 1 second, though. Do. So I get my man Robert Robles in the building. Said one of these cherry. Oh yeah, exactly, man. Robert Robles said one of these cherry picks is going to backfire. Absolutely, bro. Gonna go pop on Canelo. But that's boxing. And man, we got somebody join the channel, man. That's what's up, man. Thank you for joining the channel. Let me slide down. I missed somebody that joined the channel. And that's my man. Tyrone said, people live over their means today. That's my man, Tion Bynum. Much love, man. Thank you, brother. Money isn't inflating. Money doesn't exist anymore. It's not backed by a damn thing. Any money bags, you know what it is. It's just, they just print it off. I got you. Money isn't inflating. Money doesn't exist anymore. It's not backed by a damn thing. There you go. But wars. It's backed by wars. Anyway, peace out, job. What's going on, man? Let me back up, man. Let me get a question, though. Man, I'm actually getting a little hot in this chat, man. Actually getting a little hot. Javier Martinez said cook them. But look, man, it's obvious, man, that's the situation, man. You add a bunch of weight classes and you claim it's historic. And because people forget that you're really talking about just a fan, what's your brand name, Fanon? Fanon. My name is not Fanon. Fanon. International Boxing is the name of the channel. Fanon. Hold on 1 second, man. I'm not gonna leave, but I gotta take this thing off. Do. Yeah, there. Sorry about that, man. I'd take that sweater off, man. That shit was getting hot, man. What's your brand name, Fanon? Fanon. My name is not Fanon. That's not my. That's a funny story. These clowns out here trying to act like that's my name. Like, man, will you clowns stop it, man? Terry Schmoot said more weight classes makes more successful paths for Canelo. It makes for false comparisons between fighters of different ages. Because all that means these guys would have ran up and done the same thing, man. Let me put it this way. If you are 10 pounds ain't that big a difference if you are a much better fighter than somebody. If you're a better fighter, it's not that big a deal. Just like if your height ain't that big a deal if you're a lot better basketball player. If you can't play, there were 7-footers that Charles Barkley would kill in the post because he's a better player, right? It's just there are skills related to that. You know what I mean? Josh said, my humble opinion is that there are way too many belts in boxing. Super, regular, and interim champion. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, both. All right, man. I'm going to get the gear going, man. No doubt. E-Moneybag said, Fanon, that Charlo interview was crazy. He really thinking Bud is an easy fight. He's a little bigger, like he ain't just draw with Castano in that luck that he got. Hey, man, he may be telling the truth, though. Hey, Jermell, I didn't agree with that draw. Well, I didn't mind it, honestly. I didn't really mind it, man. He said, Fanon, there's an interview of Tago, and he says he contacted Haney for a fight before, but Haney ducked him. Haney ran away from me. Dude, it's funny. Hey, man. Hey, dude. Don't try to pull me into that, man, because you know full well, excuse me. Hey, y'all, give me a minute, man. Give me 1 second, bro. You made a video about a Charlo warrant yesterday, I believe, the day before yesterday. I didn't make it yesterday. Hold on 1 second, man. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, I'm back. My bad. Man, y'all need to stop. I ain't talking about Devin Haney, man. He ain't a... Let me tell you, man, any talk about Devin Haney, y'all need to be happy about, bro. Terry Schmoo said, why must you hate on the one true Lord and King, Devin Haney? What was he done to you? You act like straight up stole your woman? Nah, I don't act like that. I don't act like that, but I will tell you I think some of them fans is hypocrites, and I just am generally allergic to hypocrites, man. I'm going to tell you flat out. I am allergic to hypocrites. Even in my own life, bro, I will change. You know what? If I find myself being hypocrite and I can't help it, I'll be like, look, I just got to change my standard. I got to just be like, hey, I don't like what this person's doing, but dang, dude, I did the same thing. So, hey, man, it is what it is, man. It's all's fair in love and war, you know what I mean? All's fair in love and war. Hey, my man, Blacksmith Ross said, I'm curious, that cruiserweight champ that Canelo wanted to fight, wasn't he a cab driver? No one knew who he was. Canelo fights unknown paper champions. How much love in that super chat, bro? Yeah, but the thing is that he weighs 190. But the thing is that he weighs 190 pounds. He weighs 180 pounds. So that means he's better than everybody. He weighs 180 pounds. Now, he's shorter than Canelo. Half of his body weight is in his head, and he can't fight. But he's big. You know what I mean? And that's a challenge. You keep talking about Haney and you're going to get a sponsor from My Pillow. What you talking about? Just a fan? I'm not talking about Devin. AJ said, I told Fanon it seems like he hate Devin at least the way he comes off. AJ, you know what I think about you, AJ? I think you need to remove your nose from underneath that dude's sack, is what I think. Okay? And I'm just going to be straight with you. I do not hate Devin Haney. I give Devin Haney fair treatment. Fair treatment. I am consistent with him. That's what I am. Consistent. I have Devin Haney with the same standard that you hold Devin Haney to. I hold other fighters to that standard. I just think that you got your nose up underneath the sack and may need to remove it. No joke. And I'm telling you, man, I don't appreciate it. No, I'll take it from your mamas. AJ, bye. I was waiting on you. Get the fuck out, bro. You don't got to come back. See ya. Never liked you. Never liked you. Just to let you know. Never liked you. See you later. Bye. I'm fair to Devin Haney. Fair to Devin Haney. Never, I don't hold any Devin Haney to any different standard than anybody else. And never said a bad word about Devin Haney ever. But I'm not going to make up stuff. I'm not going to make up stuff, homie. See you later. You make shit up. You just come up with stuff. I don't care if you had a wrench or not. Get out. Errol. And you're going to bring up Errol. What standard did I hold Errol to? I don't say anybody's ducking Errol. I didn't say that somebody at lightweight has a responsibility to fight Errol Spence. Did I? Did I ever say, oh, Errol Spence Jr., oh man, Devin Haney's ducking Errol Spence Jr.? Did I ever say somebody at lightweight had a duty to fight him? Did I ever say anything like that about Errol Spence Jr.? No, man, AJ wasn't trolling. He wasn't trolling. He's been saying that crap. And I'll let you slide on that crap for months. But you keep saying it, homie. And I ain't never done anything, never said a bad word about Devin Haney. Never. However, I will tell you once again that if you say people duck him, then you got to hold him to the same standard that you hold other people to. Otherwise, you're being a hypocrite. Period. And you don't do that. By your standard, he needs to go up and fight Gary Antoine Russell right now or he's a duck. John Boy, much love in that super chat, brother. I ain't never said a bad word about Devin Haney. Never. Ever. As a fighter. However, I will say if I think somebody can beat him. If you ask me who do I think is going to win between Errol Spence Jr. and Jermell Charlo, I'm not going to call you a hater because you think Jermell Charlo will beat Errol Spence. Because that's not unreasonable. You're not hating on somebody if you're being reasonable. You just got your nose up his backside. And you been had your nose up that dude's backside. Because you say things that sound dumb to me. And you don't like it when I tell you it sounds dumb. The man called out a lightweight. A lightweight. Not in his same weight class. You expect a man not in his own weight class to drop his belt to go up and fight him for the same money he makes at lightweight because he called out a welterweight. I know you and your dumb argument. Well, he called, and what do you say? Oh, what do you say? Oh, he called, well, he shouldn't have said nothing to Terrence Crawford then. What does Terrence Crawford got to do with Devin Haney? Nothing. If Gary Russell Jr. called out Terrence Crawford, he called out Terrence Crawford. He didn't call out Devin Haney. He called out Terrence Crawford at 147. But you just going to take that call out and give it to Devin? What's Devin on call out welfare or something? You going to snatch that man? That man's talking to somebody else completely. And you're going to call him a duck because he doesn't move up 2 weight classes to fight Devin. When Devin already had a fight planned. What about that, dumbass? What about the fact that Devin Haney already had a fight plan with Yuriorkis Gamboa? Already had a fight date with Yuriorkis Gamboa. Already had it negotiated with Yuriorkis Gamboa. And turned around and fought Yuriorkis Gamboa just like I said the whole time. Why are you guys going through all this nonsense? He's going to fight Yuriorkis Gamboa because he already has a fight date set with Yuriorkis Gamboa. Goodbye, man. Been one. Don't like you. Anyway, John Boy, much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you for the support, man. Appreciate you so much. That really helps a lot. Thank you very much. Well, you are Arrow. You need to get up air underneath Arrow. Dude, I ain't nobody in boxing ever. The way y'all treat Devin Haney, dude, I ain't never heard anybody in boxing y'all ain't, dude, Canelo fans ain't that bad. All Canelo Alvarez fans are saying is, look, man, these guys need to fight other fighters. But my goodness gracious, bro, everybody in boxing is ducked Devin Haney, man. You are the boy that cried there. Y'all are the fan base that cried wolf. Literally, Lomachenko never even defended his belt. Never defended his belt. Unified. Was trying to unify. Never even, and lost the first fight. Oh, you duck, you cap, you duck, you cap, you cap, you duck, you duck, you duck cap, you cap duck. Duck cap, cap, duck, 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 cap, cap. God dog, man. It's like, man, will you stop it? You ruin the word cap and duck. Oh, he's ducking, he's capping, he's capping, he's ducking, he's ducking, he's capping. Oh, hey, Gary Antoine Russell said he'll fight him. Oh, he's just capping. And he's really ducking. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait for Devin Haney to move to 140. Not because I don't like Devin Haney, because I don't like you, AJ. Because I don't like that crap you do for him. Just like I don't like Canelo Alvarez fans acting like Jermell Charlo needs to go through, jump all kind of stupid loops just to get a fight with the man. Because Canelo's some otherworldly, stop, man. Anyway, George Woods said, okay, using the example, Spence should beat Charlo at 154. Much love in that super chat. Spence should beat Charlo at 154. I don't know if he'll beat him or not. They're two fighters. But I'll tell you, that's another weight class, 147 to 160. It's another weight class. Man, I'm sorry, I snapped, bro. Y'all get on my nerves with that, man. Anyway, King said, what about Gary makes you think he can beat Devin? Gary Antoine Russell? I think that his style, his southpaw stance, he's aggressive, and I think he's just as good a boxer. And size, punching power, and boxing skills. That's why I think he'll beat Devin. But I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. But I will tell you this. Based on what cats have said, he has no choice but to fight him. If he doesn't fight him, that's a duck. It's a duck. If Gary Antoine Russell calls him out, which he did, and Devin Haney doesn't fight him, that is a duck. According to the rules of Lord Devin Haney. Okay? Bill Blacksmith Ross said, AJ and guys who get mad like AJ went to hit them with a fact, Fanon on their favorite fighter, boxer, they probably sleep on their tummy. Much love in the super chat, bro. That shit annoys me, bro. Stop telling me. Man, I ain't never hated on Devin Haney, not never. Anyway, Ketone Davis said, your Pac-Man observation from yesterday, he lost in 7, got knocked out in 3. Classic, always great commentary. He said, lost in 7, got knocked out in 3. What's that? I don't even remember that, man. Ketone Davis, much love in that super chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. He said, everybody has ducked Devin Haney. It's like, man, it gets old, man. That shit just got old, man. Terry Schmoot Jr. said, Fanon got me scared. Man, look, residential troll. Hey, look, bro, I know the difference between somebody that's trolling and somebody straight up insulting me. All right? I'm not hating on Devin Haney, okay? There are people that duck Devin Haney. Devin Haney's in a bad situation. He should have been able to, there shouldn't be a franchise belt, all of that. I agree 100% about that. But, dude, you guys go way overboard on stuff, man. Way overboard. And I'm just not on that. And then you attack me. You attack me because I'm not buying that crap, bro. Sorry, man. I'm not buying it, you know? I'm just not buying it. You buy it. I don't buy it. John Boy in that super chat, bro. He said, you woke me up from my nap. I was reaching for my baseball hat. John Boy, much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you so much, man. It's just, dude, it's just seriously, man. It's just stop it. I don't. Quadar Shakur said, man, you be clout chasing. Clout chasing who? Who do I clout chase, Quadar Shakur? Who am I clout chasing? Who am I clout chasing? How can I clout chase a boxer? I'm not chasing anybody. Who am I chasing? Would love to know who I'm chasing to be clout chasing. Whose clout am I chasing? Javier Martinez said, Fanon, you are more than fair to Haney. You just want to see him be able to cash them checks. Man, exactly. And on the real, I don't mind Devin Haney or anything that he's done. It's just you guys are trying to sell him. You're selling him, and I got it. You're selling him. Sell him. All right? But, dude, I don't work for you, so don't expect me to sell it. I'm not selling fighters, bro. What, T-Pop, what you need, man? Robert Robles said you missed. No, it's Robert Robles. I got your super chat, bro. But let me go back, man. Robert Robles said, AOG, why don't you sell shirts and mugs? Hold on one second. Let me go back. Anyway, man, y'all got me off my square today with that, bro. Sorry about that, man. I'm sorry about that one. No, I got you, man. I got you, Robert Robles. Y'all, that dang near ruined my day, man. I need something positive to talk about now. Robert Robles said, AOG, why don't you sell shirts and mugs? I got you. I got you in that last one. Thank you so much, and thank you for the support, bro. King of Kings, man, in that super chat. Thank you, brother. He said, I watched Rolly's new interview, and I tried not to like that dude. Hey, he is effing hilarious. After he wake up from that tank nap, I will be rooting for him. No doubt, bro. That's kind of how I feel about him, man. It's kind of how I feel about him. Much love in that super chat, bro. Justin Fan said, Fanon ain't clout chasing. That's the channel bringing on fighters and kissing their ass. Fanon isn't biased and he can be critical. I just want to know what I'm clout chasing. What is clout chasing? You guys just got words that don't mean anything. Clout chasing. What does that mean? Like you have one definition. It's like you have 16 different definitions for the same word. Whose clout am I chasing? And if I'm clout chasing, it's going to be somebody with some clout. It ain't gonna be somebody that ain't got no clout. I mean, what does that mean? Clout chasing, mentioning people's names so people, what, man, get out of here, man. They don't bring no views to me. Kidding me? Somebody from Terrence Crawford fans say clout chasing. Even then, I don't get it because I'm not chasing his clout. I'm not trying to get you to watch me because of Terrence Crawford. Man, we talking boxing, man, and you guys calling names. Seems to me like you just weak-minded. Personally, just so you let me, since you want to tell me, you want me to tell you, you want to tell me what you think. Let me tell you what I think about you. I think you're gullible. I think you're gullible and weak-minded. Personally, I think you're gullible. No doubt about it. You believe anything somebody tells you just as long as it sounds good to you. I don't believe anything anybody tells me just because I like a fighter. Okay? Not anything. You're not going to tell me that Deontay Wilder is the greatest fighter of all time. There's no way anybody can beat him. Never. Because I don't believe that. I believe that I think he deserves the credit that he deserves. And I'm going to give that man the credit that man deserves. I'm not going to give him any less credit than he deserves. I'm not going to give him any more credit than he reasonably deserves. And I'm not going to mistreat the man. When you guys talk about you support black fighters and then you turn around and mistreat them, that's hypocritical. I don't have any problem with you bigging up Devin Haney. But when you start tearing down Gary Antoine Russell or you start tearing down other people, dude, you're being a hypocrite. Because you're tearing down black fighters while you say that you're there to support them. That's hypocritical. Completely and utterly hypocritical. And I ain't into that, man. That's on you. You be that. But don't try to pull me into that. Anyway, John Boy, much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot, man. Thank you very much, bro. And double thank you, John Boy, because you be supporting, bro. Positive vibes. George Woods, salute. You in the chat, have a great room chat. Have a great weekend, man. You as well, man. Have a great weekend, George Woods. I appreciate you, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for your support, bro. Valium said, when did vacating a belt and still not fighting other guys in a weight class not become ducking? Valium, are you talking about Vasily Lomachenko? And see, let me use this as an example. And after I get this super chat, John Boy said, I hate it when my wife says that. Much love, John Boy. Much love in that super chat. First of all, Valium, I don't know who you're talking about. However, I'm going to assume that you're talking about Vasily Lomachenko, okay? Number one, Vasily Lomachenko did not vacate a belt. Did not happen. Did not vacate a belt. He was elevated from the WBC title to a higher title called the franchise belt. He didn't vacate it. Number two, and still fighting guys in the other weight division, he fought another champion in the weight division. He fought Teofimo Lopez, who was the IBF champion. So 3 things happened there. Number one, Devin Haney was not as mandatory. They had not named him a mandatory. Number one. So Devin was not Lomachenko's mandatory. That's not factually, to say that he was his mandatory is incorrect. He was not. He was going to fight for the mandatory. Number two, Vasily Lomachenko did not vacate that belt. He was elevated. Similarly, Devin Haney did not vacate the interim belt. He was elevated to the WBC championship. So if Devin Haney didn't vacate his belt, because he didn't, Vasily Lomachenko didn't vacate his belt. He was elevated. There's a difference. Number three, you're not ducking somebody if you're a champion and you go fight another champion. Because Teofimo Lopez is the IBF champion. That's not a duck. Devin wasn't his mandatory. Wasn't. Teofimo Lopez was a champion. If you are the WBC champion or franchise champion and you fight a champion, that's not a duck. You're fighting another champion. If Devin Haney did the same thing, Devin Haney wouldn't be ducking. If Vasily Lomachenko was not as mandatory and Devin Haney got elevated to the franchise champion and he fought a unification fight or whatever you want to call it for the IBF for 3 belts, IBF, the WBA, and the WBO, that would not be a duck. Easy. If what you said was true, then it would be a duck. If what you said was actually true. But what you're saying is not actually true. What you're saying is false. Lomachenko never vacated his belt. He did not just go fight any other fighter. He went to go fight the IBF champion. That's not a duck. Similarly, Errol Spence Jr. fighting Yordenis Ugas is not a duck because he's not fighting the WBO champion. That's not a duck. He's fighting another champion. The only way somebody would think it was a duck for Errol Spence Jr. to fight Yordenis Ugas and not Terrence Crawford is if they saw somehow Terrence Crawford had a bigger right to fight Errol Spence. And what would his right be? Why does the WBO champion have a greater claim for a fight for Errol Spence Jr. than the WBA champion? Only if you like Terrence Crawford more than you like Yordenis Ugas for whatever reason. That's it. I have a suspicion that the justification is that you like Devin Haney more than you like Teofimo Lopez, which is your prerogative. If you like Teofimo Lopez, if you think Devin Haney is a harder fight than Teofimo Lopez is, that's fair. If you would rather see him fight Devin Haney than Vasily Lomachenko, that's fair. If you think that Devin Haney got screwed out of the mandatory because of the franchise belt, that's fair. But it doesn't fit a standard definition of ducking somebody because he didn't have any responsibility to fight him. He wasn't his mandatory and he fought another champion. Not complicated, man, if you're being fair. If you're being fair. and unbiased, right? I'm being unbiased. Am I missing something? I don't think I'm missing anything. I am fair to Devin Haney. I am fair to Terrence Crawford. I am fair to Errol Spence Jr. I am fair to Tyson Fury. Fair to Deontay Wilder. I am not holding one guy to a standard that I'm not holding another guy. I'm not saying because his name is Errol Spence, there's a different set of rules for Errol Spence Jr. than there is for other fighters, like Canelo Alvarez fans do. Canelo Alvarez fans hold Canelo to a different standard than they hold other fighters to. When Terrence Crawford, when Canelo Alvarez has 3 belts, and Demetrius Andrade has the other belt, and then he goes up in weight to fight somebody else, that's not a duck when it's Canelo. But if it was Errol, it would be a duck. That's two different standards for two different people, except Dillian White. But even with Dillian White, no, I'm not unfair to Dillian White. I don't like Dillian White, but I'm not going to be unfair to the man. Really, I'll joke about it, but I'm not going to be unfair to the man. What you guys are is relates to other fighters in Devin Haney is you will definitely point out when people are unfair to Devin Haney, but you will turn around and be unfair to other fighters. Be unfair to them, because that's not what you did to Gary Russell Jr. was not fair. That was not fair. You did not call it straight. You didn't call it anywhere near down the middle on that. And with Gary Antoine Russell, you won't call it down there. When it's time for him to go, you're not going to want that fight. Same thing, right? What's the guy's name that just said Togo? Togo said he called out Devin and Devin wouldn't fight him. So does that mean Togo's ducking him? He's ducking Togo? No, you're not going to claim that anybody from any weight class that calls out Devin Haney has to move to that weight class and fight him. You're never going to do that. Anyway, Boxing by the Pound said Mama requested to be elevated. Loma requested to be elevated so he didn't have to fight Haney. That's the issue why the duck was requested. Excuse me. Lomachenko requested to be elevated. Let's say he requested to be elevated. Okay? Let's just say that. Did he requested to be elevated? All right? Before Devin Haney became the mandatory. But who did he fight? He fought somebody that was a champion in their own division. Didn't he? He fought a unification fight. So even there, that's not a duck. He fought a unification fight, and Devin Haney still wasn't the mandatory. He wasn't. He was never named the mandatory, ever. He didn't know. Lomachenko didn't know Devin Haney was going to get elevated. He didn't know Devin Haney was going to get. Devin Haney was not the mandatory. It wasn't. And Lomachenko said he didn't request it. The request has to come from the promoter. That's what the WBC says. Requests like that came from Bob Arum. Bob Arum requested that. Lomachenko didn't request that. But here's the thing. What happened? Lomachenko lost. He lost. Devin Haney wasn't the... Lomachenko lost all his belts before Devin Haney even before Devin Haney ever had a claim to fight him. He lost. He didn't defend the belt successfully. He lost. But it is what it is. If you want to call that a duck, call it a duck. But if it happens to Devin, make sure that you hold the same people responsible for the same standards. If something happens like that with Devin, make sure you say that about Devin too. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, Blacksmith Ross said, look, I'm not going to call Devin Haney great, but he's a good little champ, but I don't think he can crack an egg. His hands look soft. What does he use? Palm olive. He looks like he gives soft back. Man, that dude can fight, man. Javier, and much love in that super chat. Javier Martinez said, Fanon, that's called being a hypocrite. It is. You guys hold Devin Haney to one standard that you hold only for him. And other people you do not hold for that same standard. If Gary Antoine Russell calls him out, according to the standard that you guys have, he has to move up in weight and fight Gary Antoine Russell immediately or he's ducking. Period. Because you said Gary Russell Jr. got called out. He needs to move up. Period. That's what I'm saying. But I don't think he has to. You think he has to. Because you got two different standards. But anyway, it is what it is. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Sorry for going over. Well, actually, I'm not sorry for going over. I enjoyed it, man. You selling Gary Antoine Russell. I'm not selling Gary Antoine Russell. Selling him as what? I didn't sell him what? I'm not asking you to buy Gary Antoine Russell. You can believe whatever you want to believe about Gary Antoine Russell. Zach, you can think Gary Antoine Russell can't fight. You can think he doesn't deserve a Haney fight. You can think anything you want about him. I don't have a problem with you. I'm not going to call you a Gary Antoine Russell hater. Have you ever heard me call somebody a Gary Antoine Russell hater? Ever? You ever heard me say to somebody, oh, you're just a Gary Russell Jr. hater? No, I've never done it. So when you start telling me that I'm calling people a hater because they don't support a fighter that I like, then start talking about what I'm selling. It's you all that attack people that don't support your fighter, which is the same thing Canelo Alvarez fans do, you hypocrites. You jump on Canelo Alvarez and you talk about how Canelo Alvarez fans are protecting Canelo Alvarez and they're this, they're that, and the other thing. Because what Canelo Alvarez is doing. And because they attack, they don't know what they're talking about. They just calling people Canelo haters and all of that. But then you turn around and call people Devin Haney haters. What's the difference, man? I've never called anybody an Errol Spence Jr. hater because they don't agree with me, ever. Let me know when I did. Let me know when I've ever said that. Or you're a fanboy. You're a fanboy of Devin Haney because you think Devin Haney can beat Gary Russell. Or because you think he can beat Lomachenko. I don't engage in that type of stuff. Y'all engage in that type of stuff. And that's just real. Why so much hate for everything Haney does or Spence does? No fighters in boxing are criticized and no other boxers want more tough fights than them. Man, please. You're back, huh? Pound for pound, boxing by the pound said Gary is not a duck, Loma was. I mean, you guys can say it. I don't think Loma ducked him. I thought he lost first. That's what I thought. Honestly, I don't think he even had I think he like Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz didn't duck Deontay Wilder. He lost too fast. He didn't have enough. Gary Antoine Russell, Andy Ruiz did not have enough time to duck Deontay Wilder because he lost in the first belt. The first fight he had them belts, he lost. As soon as he got that WBC belt, he lost. That's me. That's me. That's what I think. John Boy said, on behalf of the real King Judy, you know what it is. Much love in that super chat, bro. I appreciate you, bro. And that's just a sacrilege, man, what y'all doing to King Judah with that. Midwest said Haney had September, October to make Loma fight. Suleiman told Bill Haney that on the phone, the interview that before he went. So I mean, whatever it is, man, I'm not going on that. I wish they would have got that fight. No joke. I want Devin Haney to get the Kambosos fight. Really want him to get that Kambosos fight. And want him to beat Kambosos, just so you know. I really, really do. What's that about? Oh, okay. Sorry about it. Hold on one second, man. Cool. But anyway, much love, man, to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. AJ, you ain't never coming back, though, bro. I got sick of that. With that, I'm out. Deuces.